Just getting some Canadian inflation data coming through, 3.1% versus a 2.9% expectation. Month over month, dead flat, 3.1% last time. We get 3.1% again for Canadian CPI for the month of November. So a little bit disappointing there as far as the inflation progress goes. In this country, we also just got some building permit data south of the border in the U.S. 1.46 million issued last month versus 1.47 million expected there. So downside a little bit. U.S. housing starts for November, 1.56 versus 1.36. So that number to the upside a little bit. Meanwhile, the overall market back to the upside. The march higher continues. There's the cues for you. Yeah, back in positive territory. We were just looking. We're very, very close. The cues about $1 away from all-time highs right now, going back to 2022. The S&P even closer right now. So we'll touch on both of those. The Dow at all-time highs right now and has been for the past couple of days. Ton of things moving around. We'll touch on this Apple story that continues to develop. They've paused sales of the latest watch models right through to the Ultra. We'll tell you why coming up here in a few moments. We'll also touch on some of the EV names moving around. Google with a headline this morning. Microsoft going to make a in-car assistant, AI assistant for navigation. That was a pretty cool story this morning as well. It's Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, that's an interesting chart. We'll get to that in a second, but we'll touch on this overall market move continuing to the upside this morning here as far as both the S&P and the NASDAQ is concerned. Marching their way back to all-time highs. And hey, we haven't even got, I'm in the little box this morning. Oh, there we go. We haven't even got rate cuts yet, but now there's a 64% chance that we are going to get one coming up in March. 64% that they're going to cut rates in March. Even higher than that when you go out to May and then into June. So it's coming. It's just a matter of when. But yeah, that's a bit of a disappointing inflation print for us here this morning. 3.1%, right in line with expectations, same as last time.
Yeah, you and I were talking off camera. If you've been buying food in this country or many other things, pet supplies included, I know because I'm a pet owner, things haven't gotten cheaper. Sure, they're a little bit cheaper at the gas station. Sure, maybe some used cars are a little bit less, but we're definitely still feeling the pressure here, Brendo, and that number reflects that.
Yeah, disappointing, unfortunately, but still a 3 handle on our inflation number as well. Yeah, this chart is pretty impressive and kind of sums up what has happened this month. So the black line is a typical day-by-day progression for the month of December for the S&P 500. This is this year. So you can see how impressively strong the month of December has been to this point and continues to be. So remember, Mr. Noss was telling us a little bit about the Santa Claus rally coming up next week. So it's the last 5 days of the year and then the first 2 going into next year. So yeah, that move in December already without even the Santa Claus rally showing up. Maybe he has come a little bit early. We'll see. So still a week to go, obviously. But Neil with a couple of days off here, enjoying some time with his family. Sean's back in the building. Good to have him. Good morning, guys.
What's up, Obi? Yeah, it's great to be back. I was just looking at a few things there. And yeah, wow. All-time highs right now.
Oh, yes. We've come a long way.
I was muted.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, no, I was just saying we've come a long way, but I mean the market's right now back to all-time highs. So I mean those of us that thought this was going to be something that's going to be. Oh look, how come this is facing me today? Here we go. Here's Neil looking a gift horse in the mouth. If you're short the NASDAQ, that's kind of what you feel, and then you know the NDX just comes right out of the horse's mouth, right there. But no, what a great opportunity to be long. And I was saying this to you earlier and to Sharif. It's like no one's going to sell now. You know, this is coming into the closing of the year. You're not going to realize this profit. The NASDAQ's up 52%. You don't want to put on that tax burden, I don't feel. And remember, we're not even in the Santa Claus rally. That number that Brendan showed, I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but that's amazing. Like, that's not even with that 2.7% that normally happens 77% of the time into the Christmas rally, which starts on December 22nd. Mm-hmm. Trying to sound a little bit smart there with all those numbers and stuff like that, but it's just,
I mean,
yeah, it's not going to work.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like
So I don't know, man. I know you just saw Amazon ripping yesterday. Meta's almost all the way back up to its top again after that disastrous fall from graces, man. 380 is the top for Meta. You're going to be looking at 350, 360, and in around those ranges the next couple days. Look, I'm excited. I think that Apple news is a little bit puzzling to me because you're going to have to stop production on those watches, and we're going to get to that. Does that mean that Apple falls back in a little bit? Yesterday, when I saw that Affirm downgrade, I even tweeted it out. I was like, here we go, because this was a name that we talked about shorting, on Friday. I know some of you put that short on, but it was only at, on Friday, we were at 45, 46 bucks. And yesterday, despite a downgrade, still winds up pretty good and rips into the end of the day and into the close, ripped off the open actually. And then yesterday, hovering in and around this $45 mark. I feel like there's going to be a short here as well. Look, we're excited. It's going to be a big day, man. Nvidia down. I don't know. AMD still can't break that 140. Nvidia up. I was looking at it right now, 494.
Nvidia 500 yesterday, Sean.
Did it? Okay.
Absolutely solid break.
It broke higher. Okay,
Pretty clean, and then
Yeah.
holds and continues to go push the 504.
There it is,
So
right at the end of the day. So it broke it. Here it is right here on Nvidia.
that was pretty solid.
So that's pretty solid actually too. I didn't realize we broke it yesterday. But there it is right there, the 500 break. Did you guys tell me you guys had this?
I had a piece of it. I think a few of us had it on the
Okay,
floor.
good. Yeah, nice move up to 504. The thing is, basing at 502. So yeah, that's a $2 winner all day, baby. Did you spin this? Did you spin this yesterday? Where's my money thing? Oh, my stream deck's not working. I guess I got to load it up. But
I did not spin the dollar money, but maybe today's
was it a positive day for you yesterday?
pretty much flat.
Pretty much flat.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we
too
can
bad.
change that around.
Yeah, maybe we can hit some dollar winners today.
Oh, we'll see. We'll be here to try. And the thing about the market is, as Brendan and Sharif know, and you know too, you get what it gives you.
Exactly.
It's like we can sit here and be like, oh, we're going to look for $10 winners. But if Tesla just hovers around, you're not going to have those kind of winners, right? So you're going to have to wait, and we'll figure this out. But yeah, you're now rocking with us, which I think is a good start to any morning. Affirm up 1%, the market's up 0.12, and as the boys just mentioned, we're at all-time highs. So if you're long, you're doing okay.
Yeah, sitting right now, in fact, I was just noticing here, 48.02 on the S&P, so nice look. Let's touch on a few things that are moving around this morning. We are going to get a few Fed speakers coming up today I wanted to mention, so keep that in the back of your mind. There's been obviously countering comments, I guess, coming out of some of the Fed members over the past couple of weeks, comparatively speaking to what Fed Chair Powell said, going back to the last Fed meeting. So I forget who it was it was yesterday afternoon. We had a few that came out and they basically said, I don't know what the market was thinking reacting the way it did last week. So we'll see what happens today. Anyway, Boeing was one that was, I just noticed, giving most of this early gain back, but we did get up to 265. That did actually print up there, 265 to 65 and a half. Now back to 0.3. I mean, this daily chart is pretty impressive as well. 175 up to almost 270. At the top there for Boeing, yet more orders coming through for Boeing. 100 737 MAX from Lufthansa this time.
Look at that chart, Brendo. That is an aggressive move up there. Yeah, Europe's largest airline ordering quite a few 737 MAXs. As Brendo said, up to 100. 40 of those are firm for the 737-8 variant. There are other firm orders outstanding from Boeing. By Lufthansa as well. 34 787s, Brendo. 7 777, 8 the 8 variant, and then 20 of the 777-9 variant as well. So lots of they looked up their inventory with more Boeing, less Airbus.
Yeah, it's going to come down to, as we've spoke about in the past, whether or not they can actually deliver on these things and get them to fill these orders as they come in within a decent amount of time frame. That could be why we're fading back out here a little bit, guys. But Boeing down yesterday, looking to bounce.
Say what?
Yeah.
I was like, we were just looking at Boeing there, and I was like, what? When it called it up, I was like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go long 220 break, something like that, 250 break. Nah, Boeing up to 260 right now. Look at this stock, just go, go, go. If you're not. And I want to thank Neil for doing the market recap show, but we're back, baby. It's going to be back here today. It's going to be hot fire. But look at this. breaking. This is the thing, Obi.
Yes.
How's it going, Obi?
I'm good.
All right, good.
How are you doing?
All right, when you get good names, good stocks, good sectors, taking out or bouncing off of the 200 period moving average, I'm liking that more and more.
Okay.
So let's keep that in mind because I do think there's going to be a sell-off coming in January. Let's look for 200 period moving averages. Look at this one here, guys.
That's on the daily.
On a daily, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, daily breaking or falling back in. You can look at SMH as the best example of that at 140 for me. But look at this. There goes Boeing. If you like the name, I could understand why you wouldn't like it as you come all the way back down in. And if you're long, maybe that's where you get out. Let all this garbage go. And the thing is, you can always try to find support. And I think that that's where you dollar cost average into good names, but you definitely don't load up here because you could continue to fall down. You break the 50 period, you break the 200 period, or the 50 is the pink, the 200 is the green. You continue to break those to the downside. Then look at this, looky, you find support back at last year's levels. Right? Almost a year ago to the day, you fall back in. So it takes away everything that everyone sat in all year. Then all of a sudden, you start to get some of these orders from China, like we discussed. Now you're getting more from Lufthansa coming through Germany. Now, then you get a break on good earnings. And since then, you've had 4 red days from 205 up to 260. I think Boeing could take out this 266 today. The thing is, you're more aggressive than the market right now. ES pushing near highs as well. I think Boeing's a winner, and I think you can keep on watching it. Look out for this 265 break. I know it's down right now a little bit. It's not at its highs from 2 days ago, but that's an interesting level there at 260 and change. Chart looks really good. On a weekly here for Boeing, this is the interesting part about it. You may have thought you missed the move, but you have not. There still is more supply up here in and around 340 to 360. So we have an opportunity to get up there. You still got to take out 280, but after that, it's smooth sailing up to 380 probably. I mean, this is a monopoly, isn't it? I mean, there's Airbus, there's Boeing.
Bombardier, maybe?
Bombardier, maybe.
Yeah.
The problem with Bombardier is they can't even make subway cars. Like the deal that they have with the TTC, it's crazy. Do you see line 2 here? So line 1,
Yeah, I've been on it before.
The
Yeah.
young line has cars that are new.
Right.
They're like 7 or 8 years old, the new cars.
Right.
The line 2, the bluer line,
Yep.
has literally cars that are like 50, this is not lying, 50 to 60 years old.
Yeah. The green line does seem a little dustier.
And Bombardier, and we're waiting
They
for
got like-
deliveries. We're waiting for Bombardier here.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I like Boeing. What say you?
Yeah, I think just looking at the chart here, again, I don't know too much about the fundamentals, but it's something to point out here, Sean, is something we've been talking about more and more recently. The earnings reaction kind of holding above that consolidation over the next couple of weeks, and that's what Boeing here has been doing pretty much. You have this earnings report, then you get that consolidation a couple of weeks later, and then you start trending off of that reference price for multiple weeks. So I think Boeing, yeah, definitely a very strong trend off of previous earnings there, and then kind of wiping back a lot of this year's prices. So it's a pretty strong trend. Interesting to observe that phenomenon happen more and more often.
All right. People are saying in the chat that, yeah, it's just so funny because we can all of a sudden we divide the country here just with Bombardier. Like someone's like, that's what you get when you send orders to Quebec because they're a Quebec company, right? So that's some hate there. And then someone else is like, oh, we're getting all the products in Vancouver because I guess they're making streetcars and trains over there.
Oh, they're getting all the new stuff.
They're getting all the new stuff.
Yeah.
They must have paid more than us. But anyways, no, I like Bombardier. Hard to say not. Again, another Dow component as the Dow Jones. Yeah. The diamonds are just absolutely ripping up. So, all right, I'm working on some names here for the sticky note. Let's go back to the desk and see if we can figure out more.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some ride-sharing movement today. First off, Lyft downside, 3.3% right now. Not a lot of volume behind this move, but the co-founder selling a large chunk of holding, 3+ million shares, I believe it was. You can see that probably happened at the close yesterday. There was a huge volume spike going into the close for Lyft. Another one that's made a decent move on the daily time frame up to 16. There was a couple things on Uber to be aware of as well. KeyBank coming out this morning with a positive note, maintaining their overweight, raising their price target to 70. That's still Boeing. And then there's also a note I saw on Estonia. They won a... That doesn't look right.
That's weird.
They won a a court ruling in Estonia to be able to operate further there.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that particular headline, Brendo, but with respect to Lyft, very interesting. Lyft is up 42% year to date. It's still underperforming Uber, its older sibling. As Brendo mentioned, John Zimmer, who's the co-founder of the company, sold about $3.5 million worth of shares. He was followed by the current president, Kristen Sverchuk, who sold a measly $85,000, Brendo. But Zimmer, who's stepped down as president in June, has been selling shares all year long.
Yeah, and this is typical for this time of the year. Some of these positions get adjusted going into year end, so nothing out of the ordinary to expect. There we go. My chart is now cooperating, guys, but nice look for Uber.
I like that. Uber kind of coming off of last week's S&P edition, right? And yeah, it's the funny thing is, I think a lot of us were looking for a little bit of the backside coming off of that that run up into the S&P ad. Like you can see again, post earnings consolidation, a hold, and then starts to trend back up, and then you can see this large volume on the close when it does get added onto the S&P 500. And now it is trading on as a part of that the ETF there. But yeah, that 61 level still holding quite well. A little bit of a resistance turn support, and still holding as support as of right now. So going forward, I think today I'll definitely be watching this 61, throwing a couple of alerts here as well. But yeah, 61 support until it's not.
All right, what's up? We'll check out CGen. What's up, Scott H? Yeah, what's up, Ben T? Yeah, Neil and I, we don't get along very well, so we never work together anymore. So that's why. Yeah, anytime I'm in, Neil has to not be in, and vice versa. No, actually, I have very, very sad news for everybody because it's next week as Brendan's not here. So we actually, this is not.
Sad.
So first of all, where's the hit the like and subscribe thing for Sharif? Do you have it on here?
Yep, right there.
Okay, let's hit it. Just hit it. If you find it, there it is. Don't hit
Like, subscribe, and share the show that takes you to the heart of the market every day.
It's okay. The reason why we do that is that may or may not be written in anybody's contract that we have to do that. But Neil, myself, and Brendan choose, we are not going to, two of us ever be away at the same time. So the idea there is that we have days left over as the year comes to an end. So we don't, once again, we didn't plan very well by taking off enough days during the year. So now we've been trying not to roll them over, take them as much as we possibly can. And of course, into the new year, or into the end of the year, we're taking more time off. So believe me, I love taking.
You spend more time with your family. It's the holidays. It's the season.
I mean, I love taking time off, but I mean, we talked about it being the season. I gotta be sitting in the desk. You know what I'm saying? But all right, let's see what can make us some money today. And you know what I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be Lyft, and I think it's going to be, where is it? This way. I'm going to ride the bear today. I'm going to ride the bear on Lyft, and I just think that, you know what? Who are the smartest people in the company? I would hope that it would be John Zimmer and President Kristen Sverchuk. Okay, Vice Chair John Zimmer, okay? These guys are selling. And I don't care if it's been planned or what. What else was planned? Uber being added into the S&P 500, right? So you get a huge move up. When everyone thinks of Uber, they think of Lyft. They're not even close to the same company. Lyft's not even making money. Uber has Uber Eats. Uber has a international exposure that is leaps and bounds above whatever the heck Lyft is doing. Now, I don't know. I mean, I only use Uber now. I know that I used to open up both apps and like price shop and stuff like that.
Yep.
I still don't mind doing that. I haven't done that in a while.
I do that sometimes, but Uber tends to have pretty competitive prices.
Uber has the promotions. I'm like an Uber One member as well, just because of some of the other benefits, including the grocery delivery that they have, the Uber Eats that they have.
Right.
Simply put, I feel like more drivers. I don't take Ubers that much, but whenever we're out, whatever, from downtown to my house, it's like less than $20. So I feel like it's way safer just to do that. And especially when you pay parking. Is $30 around here. I just went to the Rico, which is where the Marlies play. It's at Exhibition, and it was $30.
Wow.
To park there, yeah.
Did you get a parking spot nearby?
Yeah, just $30 the whole lot.
Okay.
You can literally park. If you get there early,
it's worse when it's expensive parking, and then the parking is like.
You know what? I
so
feel
far
like
away
parking
from where
would
you need
be
to
real cool if they actually charged you based on how close you parked.
It's almost like that makes too much sense.
Yeah, but that's not how it works though, right? Like when you go to a stadium, it's like to get anywhere in the whole lot is a fixed rate.
Right.
You know, if you want valet or something, it's a little bit different. Okay, so what I was getting at with Lyft here, let's just go over this real quick because we're on to time. Well, it's only 8:50, we got lots of time. All right, so it's not breaking 16 bucks. It didn't break that at 16 on the Uber days. It had some nice moves up. If Uber's gonna give something back, I feel like so is Lyft. You're down 3%. The thing about Lyft is you have a 15% short float. Those shorts are gonna wanna win at some point. And I feel like today, why sit here and bid anything? I feel like Lyft's real home is down here between 12 and 13. I feel like that's where it goes. So today, I'm short. I already have this, the only stock that I have offers on. I'm offering 15.50 and I'm offering up near 16 bucks. If we get a little rally early, it's Lyft and I want to short and it's on the sticky note. It's one of the ideas on here. Let's go over to Adair for upgrades and downgrades.
Some of these solar names here across the board on the list, including Sunrun, we have up over 4% on an upgrade from Piper Sandler. Roku feels like this one's been on the board recently. Right now it has an upgrade from Pivotal Research Group. Chewy with an upgrade from Jefferies Financial, seeing an increase in trading as well. And last but not least, Amgen getting an upgrade from BMO Capital Markets. For the downgrades, we have PepsiCo leading the way here with a downgrade from JP Morgan Chase. Plug Power trading much lower, getting a downgrade from Piper Sandler. SolarEdge also getting a downgrade from Piper Sandler here. And last but not least, Piper Sandler themselves getting a downgrade from Northland Capital, guys.
Yeah, some pretty big names.
Is there anything that you liked on there?
Well, the first thing I looked at was a downgrade on Pep. And yeah, so I've been watching this name a little bit closer over the past year or so, and I think that it has a decent trend overall, but we kind of broke that trend in October to the downside. But yeah, a little bit of a downgrade today. Nothing doesn't seem like it has too much of an effect on the stock. Again, it's Pepsi, but this consolidation range is pretty decent. Another one I want to look at there is Roku with the upgrade there. We know that it's been selling off pretty strongly as of last Thursday. We saw that it kind of had this pop and drop, fails to follow through this consolidation above this 108. Decent short, and it seems like that's been kind of falling in past that 100 mark as well. So with a little bit of an upgrade, let's see if it can catch some bids today. But it is kind of again similar thing here. I'm seeing this over and over again. Strong action on earnings, holds, and then trends. And then it seems like right now the trend has definitely gone sideways and bent a little bit there, Sean.
So I was just looking at, I mean, Roku always is quite a mover. What was up with Roku the last couple of days? It got upgraded, right? So
Yeah, it's had some movements.
it was just up last week, midweek. It was up at 108.
Yeah.
Right up here on the daily chart. You could see this is just 2 days ago. It's really come in here on Roku. So you've fallen down. Like, no surprise it gets an upgrade today, to be honest with you. I mean, I have to check out what this is up. Yeah, what's up to everybody loving Enphase? That's another reason, again, that TAN ETF and Enphase and where they went. But okay, so Roku down here to 92, I feel like is going to be a buy. I mean, look at the daily chart. It's not quite into support where you'd be comfortable buying it and holding it into your own account, because I feel like this 84 where the 50-period moving average is, I feel like that's nice. That's real nice. But like this move up over the last month, this isn't like a firm again. You know, it's why? Why is Roku doing this? This is actually, I should have said short Roku instead of short Affirm. And I'm not cherry picking because it's all the way down. This is at another key level all the way back here. Goes back to May of last year. You know, like why does Roku need to break these levels? I don't, again, this is just another name that seems to be, it's not that it's manipulated a lot, it's just it can move like 10, 15% without even blinking an eye. So 8% short float, almost at 9%. Now today you catch an upgrade and you're up 1%. Not too many names are up 1% right now, obviously with this market only up 0.14. So I feel like this is getting a bid at some point here. Let's look at Roku for some buys. That 92, yesterday's bottom, that's pretty juicy there. If the market falls down in, play it off 90 long. So again, 92 long gives you an out at 90s. That's $2 worth of space. If you're right, this thing's going to go $8, $9 today. Like, I feel like if you're right, this thing goes to 96, 97. So that's $5 off of 92. And then, you know, the sky's the limit after that. So I like Roku long on that upgrade.
Yeah. Another one to kind of mention is Chewy on the upgrades as well. Kind of looking at it here, more recent earnings, and we're holding above that earnings. And not only are we holding, strong uptrend, a little bit of fuel with the upgrade potentially. But yeah, looking left here, this is previous earnings price right here. That you see this strong range kind of happening. We're coming right into that $23 level on Chewy, breaking out of multi-month highs. We haven't seen these prices since last September of this year here. So yeah, some strong trend happening on Chewy. Let's see if we can catch a bid over some of these prices. I'm looking at 22 here on Chewy today. I got it written down as well.
No, we were just talking about spending $300 at Costco, because that's apparently the minimum every time I go.
Honestly.
No, but like you were making the point that, you know, even if we're talking about gas stations in the sense that, you know, 10 cents seems to be the minimum difference if you go to a Costco gas station versus a normal gas station around here, 10 cents less. And if you know, were to average that out over a year, it's probably still worth it, even if you're driving more to get to one, even if you're paying the membership on top of that.
Yeah, and like when you look at the CAA, which is the Canadian version of AAA, that's our version, you only get like a few pennies per liter discount for spending the money on that membership. So for your Costco membership, you could be getting a lot more. That's just personally how I see it. Too bad, no Costco gas stations in Midtown though.
No, that's the other thing, right? Like how proximity-wise, how close are you to one? Anyway, Apple, we'll talk about that coming up in the rundown this morning on this two things, China note, and also this watch story continues to kind of unfold. It's very strange, but I wanted to mention this as well. Tesla 0.37 to the upside, trying to bounce off yesterday's low. They're going to raise some hourly workers' wages in Arizona. So a little bit of positivity. But I mean, it's one of those days where most of these types of stocks are around that 0.3, 0.2, 0.3 kind of to the upside area. But decent levels to work off today.
Yeah, there's Sparks, Nevada plant, Brendo. That's where they're going to make the wage increases. It's widely, agreed upon that they're doing this to avoid the UAW's wrath, who's already targeted them, Toyota, possibly even Honda, for new collective bargaining agreements for workers there. But the details are as follows. So the hourly workers who are making $20 are going to make $22, and the hourly workers who are making $26.20 are now going to make $30.65. Some of the workers who are making somewhere in between those two are going to be bumped automatically up to $30.65. Recall that we did just have a union issue abroad in, I believe it was Sweden and Norway, where one of the biggest hedge funds there sold their Tesla position because they refused to make a collective bargaining agreement with the workers. That's something that's normal in that particular area of the world in Scandinavia I'm talking about. So we'll have to wait and see how this pans out. But obviously some careful treading here, Brendo.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into this more coming up once we get into the rundown. I mean, I was just going through some of the other EV stocks here today. Rivian's still looking great, 1.3, a little bit of relative strength once again. This daily chart continues to look pretty impressive. We had that, did you read about the Nikola story yesterday, the co-founder getting 4 years? Oh, you were telling me about that this morning. I think a lot of people were expecting that to be a little bit more of a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about the case, to be quite honest with you, so I'm not going to opine on it. But yeah, more corporate white-collar crimes. We've seen some of that this year already with Sam Bankman-Fried and the like, so we'll have to see how this pans out. But it's been a tough road for Nikola lately.
Yeah, I mean, the chart tells the story. This thing's a penny stock and has been for a while now, as we discussed going back a couple of weeks ago through $1. We are bouncing back to 85 cents here today, guys, for Nikola.
Yeah, that Nikola was definitely something yesterday. But I like that look on Tesla. Definitely EVs little bit in play at these levels. Kind of Tesla coming back into this area right here. Previous earnings kind of time, we saw that sellers got aggressive in and around these prices, 250, 255-ish. We know that this 270s are pretty toppy, and we've been kind of trending up into this area here. A little bit of a longer term downtrend as well. So yeah, curious to know what we do in and around these prices. I think I definitely agree with Brendo there. These are decent prices to work with. As again, looking a little bit left, you can see that these prices have been associated with some significant price action as well. So yeah, potentially we saw what happened yesterday. A little bit of a pop and drop, while the rest of the market was pretty strong. Tesla was kind of showing that weakness. So I just got that high marked from yesterday. Let's see if we can make it past 258 convincingly today or sometime this week. I'm also watching that 250 to see if these sellers kind of come right back in from that previous earnings report.
Yeah, so again, you know what? I mean, that Trevor Milton story there with Nikola, I mean, getting 4 years, I don't know if I don't know if that's going to do anything to the stock here. I mean, you either believe in hydrogen or you don't. I mean, Nikola's under $1 right now. It's not looking the greatest. I just feel like you want to do your due diligence. It's something like I'm just trying to think about this, because other than NIO, forget about the Chinese EV space. I think every single EV name right now, beside the Chinese names, are well underwater on everything. Like, I remember when GM was with Nikola and Mary Barra, this might be her best move, and I don't think it was a huge investment, but they got out of Nikola like at $40 or something, you know, like on wow. GM's early investments. So like the writing's been on the wall on a lot of these things. I mean, I just feel horrible. Like, I'm an investor, like I have some Fisker. I don't have any Nikola, but Fisker is one of them. I don't have any Rivian. Remember Rivian, although Rivian's the bell of the ball right now, up to 23, 24 bucks.
Oh, do you
remember what price this came out at?
When it first started, wasn't it a SPAC?
It was an IPO.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a SPAC. No, not a SPAC. No.
Okay. I'm gonna
yes,
I'm gonna
say
like
$24 now.
Okay, I'm gonna say like $40. Rivian.
Actually,
Rivian IPO. No, wait, wasn't this like $180 or something?
Yeah, 108.
This was the one. This was that one. Yeah.
So like that came out at 108. It's at $24 right now, and we're like, yay, Rivian! Like, it's doing so good.
I remember.
But again, you know, so like, just down 75% from its IPO. You know, let alone other names like Lucid and whatnot. I mean, it's just disastrous. I remember when the Saudis came in about a year ago, and I have to go back and find out where exactly it was. And they were like, oh, you know, the price is so depressed right here. Oh, that was about a year ago, so it was in the new year. And Saudis are buying the company, and then they're not, and then that's all the way to the downside. So, you know, again, this has been pretty pathetic. So all of these stocks right now need to get a boost up. And the one stock that really, you know, I thought we'd get to 280. I called 280 by the end of the year here for Tesla. We nailed the NASDAQ. I mean, the NASDAQ we're 100% right. We set all-time highs. That's exactly what we're at right now. So we actually hit the all-time highs early. So we're early on the all-time high call for the NASDAQ, but it looks like we're going to miss Tesla, because I just felt that if this name really wanted to go, we would have already been here. But at the same time, I wrote it down here that we got to go long today. I don't have a problem. Oh, yeah, that's the split. I don't have a problem trading this name to the long side for simple reasons. You're above 250. And when you can stay above these levels, it's just like AMD at 140. We're above 250. Let's go long until we breach that 250 mark. Yesterday and a couple days, we had some dip down opportunities into 250. That was 248. So I actually wrote down here 245 would be the ultimate bottom, because you have these tops right here. So if Tesla does fall today, look for picking some up in between 246 and 248. I really feel like those are great bids. But right here, 250 is pretty sweet sailing. So I really like that one. We'll see if that can hit. But right now, 250, a pretty good number there to come into play for Tesla. So it's on the sticky note. It's 250 long. I do like it. Okay, Kevin Johnston. Randy, did you say you're getting more coffees?
Really?
Yeah, well, that one got cold, and I went and switched over to water. Then I realized there's no like drugs in water. Like caffeine or like drugs in water here, so cheers, Obi.
Cheers.
We're talking Tesla. What a surprise. You come in. I was saying that all EV names, even Rivian, IPO'd at 108. Although we might like it right now, it's still $24.
Yeah. 180 was the high. I just checked. I was like, something about 180 registered with Rivian. 179 and change was the high. I remember it because I remember looking at it and I was like, oh, this is a beautiful fade when it was coming back down, and it's only been fading since. So.
But what I wanted to get to here was someone in the chat just said the NQ is not at all-time highs. Well, here's the forward. Well, here's the. I get it, Sharif, but I'm going to take this over from here.
A couple points off.
Here is the NASDAQ continuous contract. So this is the NDX right now. This is the NASDAQ continuous contract on eSignal is over its past high.
Yeah.
So this is as good as you can go right here. And if you're going to look at the triple Qs, look, whether or not we're at all-time highs on whatever ETF or whatever you're looking at, you're pretty darn close. Remember, you're going to have management fees and all of these things as well that come out. Like it's Invesco, right, that manages the Qs. So Invesco is going to take probably 2 or 3 bips or something like that off of this, right? So all these names are very, very close to all-time highs, which is why I just show you the continuous contract, because this is just pure trading. This is no management fees, no nothing instituted with this. This is the NASDAQ. Here it is right here, NQ$F, breaking right now. 2021 November highs has been officially taken out. So there it is right there. I mean, we talked about this back in October when we had JC on the show and a few other guests on. And we were like, he said, if you're not long tech, you're an idiot. I mean, that was literally a quote that I stole right from him. And it's just, it was in context. He's not saying that people are idiots. It's just looking at charts. If you're looking at charts, what these guys are, CMTs, you know, if you're looking at charts, we've had Michael Noss on numerous times. Right. He was talking about the run in gold. That was been months since we've been discussing that, the run in uranium, all this kind of stuff. We've been talking about it for a very long time. And then boom, now you're back to all-time highs and no one's going to sell. No one is going to sell a huge position and realize all of these gains into the new year. So I don't think there's a huge flush coming anytime soon, except January. Then I think we start to flush down. And I'm getting ready to empty out a couple of these positions, and we'll talk about those as the show goes on. I got to save some content. Okay. You know, we'll empty out some positions and get ready to buy back a shit ton of stock in the new year once there's a little bit of a pullback. I think we can pull back 5 to 6%. And I think that could happen in the first quarter, and then we sit there with open hands and buy all these best names back up, including potentially Tesla. But I like a 250 long on Tesla, and I like that holiday portfolio challenge right now. Look at that nice graphic there from Trade Ideas. Make sure you scan that. Let's get going, and I'll take that $2,200 grand prize because when does it start? Contest starts Tuesday. 4 a.m. on Tuesday, December the 19th. That's today.
That's today. I was just about to say. So
what are we going to buy? Let's buy some Nikola. I mean, it's the highest one, so you can buy it at 85 cents. We'll see what happens.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not doing that. All right, back over to the desk.
All right, 9:07. Let's get a look at the overall market here. We have tons of time. Sharif's going to check out.
Yesterday, we closed that at 47.93, already well above that 47.99. Resistance obviously to be expected at 4,800. We haven't been up here in quite some time. So let's see how we do first and foremost at that 4,800 level. If you're looking for support, I'm going to go ahead and say that there's a good support level here at 47.75. We consolidated that's the mean area of the consolidation over the past few days. Takes us back to the 13th, Brendo.
All right, if you have not done so, make sure you scan that QR code or go to watchlist.tradertv.live, enter your email address, and get a free watch list every day. Just shows up. It's very easy and has everything you need to know on it every single morning in the pre-market. Let's go. Apple, top of the list. Kind of an interesting look here this morning. It's trying to get back to the upside. I mean, this came out yesterday. We've had 2 days in a row, if you zoom in here a little bit on the daily chart, 2 days in a row. Initial move is down, then we get a bounce late in the day. So there is buyers still, obviously, because it's Apple. But yeah, trying to save this $17 billion. Remember we showed that graphic of a breakdown of their actual business and what the wearable side of things is. And yeah, $17 billion for smartwatches specifically. And this all comes back to this patent dispute that came through against them yesterday, which was kind of a surprise, I think. So they're not going to be able to sell the latest versions of the watch going into the holiday season. So a bit of a problem for Apple.
Yeah, and it's not a small amount of money. Like you mentioned, this is their third largest segment, the wearable segment. For revenue, $9.3 billion in the last quarter. At issue here, obviously, is the blood oxygen indicator used on the watches. It was a decision not reached by a local court. In fact, it was the International Trade Court, the U.S. International Trade Commission, pardon me, reaching this decision on October 26th, but the decision was sealed until yesterday. With respect to sales, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Series 9, Brendo, they will pause sales at 3 p.m. on Thursday for online and then stores on Sunday. So you'll be able to get them until then. So if you really want for presents, you can rush in. This doesn't change the availability outside the United States. It's a U.S. only restriction for now.
Yeah, what are they going to do with the ones that are already sold? Like change a software update or something that will fix this? I don't know. But anyways, we mentioned this yesterday. This Massimo Corporation is the company that took them to court and won, as we said. So MASI, also a pretty impressive daily chart, gets back to highs yesterday on this win over Apple, guys.
Interesting, yeah. Some nice little pullbacks off that 200 on Apple, yeah. So I think that them being not able to sell their watch anymore definitely can take an effect. It's funny there, Sean. I was talking to my dad about this last night. He's like, Apple sold off because they can't sell their watches anymore. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not why they sold off. But yeah, no, it seems like
bad for the win.
Yeah, maybe I'm looking for that short today off of that sentiment. But the thing is, we've been building up into this 200. Again, markets at all-time highs, really kind of pushing up into this. Even though over the past 3 days, we have been selling off of that 200. So I think something to note here on a larger time frame, let's just go to the hourly, is that we're well within this strong uptrend, pushing up off of this consolidation break in and around that 175 area. And then, yeah, previous highs right here at 198.20s, and we broke those for a 200 test, and then new highs are at 199.60s. But take a look at this trend here, Sean. Quite strong, trying to push up into the 200s. Very clear, kind of buyers stepping up. You have consolidations, and you have higher lows that are building up into the 200. So I think I'm looking for that 200 push, to be honest there, Sean. So that's what I'm looking for on Apple.
All right, I'm just, wow, thank you for all the love in the chat. Like, I really only ever get harassed when the sticky note is not out yet, so that's good, but I am working on it, so give me a second here. But Apple, so I really, again, I don't know about this story. I feel that they're going to get something settled here. Obviously, with that new watch has been a big part of everything. I know there's some traders around here that are looking at buying the Ultra and things like that. And now that 9, they're going to have to sort of slow down on production and cut the production until they get it all figured out. I feel like they will. Apple's too smart of a company to let something like a patent or an infringement or technology get in its way. Apple always does this, man. Google will come out with a new feature on their phone. Apple will test it, copy it, take it, put it on theirs. This is nothing new, So I feel like this is something, but I don't know if it's anything. Does that make any sense? It's something to watch. I've already sort of discussed exactly what you just said there too. I've already discussed a strategy with Apple here, and I think it's pretty simple. I'm not doing it, but if you're nervous about anything here, like if you're your dad or you or me or anybody, and you say, you know what, I really appreciate this Apple run from 165 up to all-time highs right now, get some out.
Yeah.
I mean, the best part about trading is liquidity.
Right.
We have the opportunity right now to second guess your own portfolios. And if you think that you're overweight Apple right now, which probably a lot of people are, then why not trim at these levels and get back in when we take two bills? I feel like it's a very simple trade. And if these sort of stories scare you, then I would say dump your Apple and buy it back later, or just sit on what you have. I don't think it's going down. And if you're going to look at any key levels breaking, maybe it's right here. Maybe it's just 190s held pretty good. We didn't really retest it, so I would say a test back in at 190. Like we held there for a while, but we haven't retested. Like we went up, we didn't give 190 a test back in. So I would say a test back into 190, and then maybe a fail of that right there, 188. Then you can get out of Apple as well. So I feel like you're kind of dancing with the devil at some of these highs, but I don't feel like it's going to be overly dangerous. Why is everybody saying Affirm? Affirm is not on my watch list today, but what the hell? Oh my God.
Whoa.
Okay, we are going to talk about, okay, these guys got it. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey guys, yeah, Affirm announcing now that they will be providing the buy now, pay later service at Walmart checkouts. At 4,500 stores in the U.S. Basically saying here, recent Affirm research revealed that more than half of Americans are looking for retailers to offer the buy now, pay later option at the checkout, Brendo. Probably speaks to a little bit of the higher rates and the amount of credit card debt. We know there's over $1 trillion of that in the U.S. at the moment.
This can't be on everything at Walmart.
Hey man, just reading what I see.
You can go buy bananas and pay later.
Can you imagine?
Okay. Good for Affirm. Let's talk Tesla here real quick too, and then we can revisit Affirm with the guys too. Tesla up a little bit here, 0.36. We touched on it if you're with us between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Some raises coming through. Looks good on the company overall for the Nevada Gigafactory. Significant ones too. It's not bad. I mean, $2 all the way up to $34.50. So a range of essentially $22 up to $34.50 for hourly employees. So Tesla worth a watch today.
Yeah, it's a nice bump there. The minimum increase here, Brendo, is 10%. Obviously, looking to a possible headwind with respect to the UAW. Sean Fain, the president of the United Auto Workers, made no bones about the fact that he was going to go after Tesla, that he was going to come after Toyota and Honda. So it looks like he's trying to stave some of this off, and he already has a bit of an issue in Scandinavia. So, you know, it's brewing.
Tesla and Affirm, guys. Take your pick.
Affirm?
Okay. I already talked about Tesla. I guess I must have jumped ahead of, I jumped ahead of that before. That Affirm news, like, again, we'll hear about it more as the day goes. I mean, that is absolutely, I mean, let's just call it like it is, man. That's a green move for them, and that's a fantastic one. And whenever you're dealing with, did you just cut that? No? Oh, that was really, how long does this go for? Okay, not very long. Okay, I was just like, what happened there? I like that graphic because we've had that twice now. We've hit the red one and the green one. Why not? But there's a nice bump up. I just think like Brendan said, like, I don't know if this applies to everything, if it's just their online stuff. We'll get it all figured out or not. But the thing about this is, like, I mean, I was at Walmart yesterday, you know, like it's still super busy. Obviously, we're heading into the season here, but I think Affirm now, I hate to say this, but I guess it's a super long now. People aren't going to stand in this way again, man. 21% short float on Affirm. I think it's a short, but like standing in front of news like this, we've hit this before. Like yesterday, Affirm, and like who was it? Let me guess, it was Morgan Stanley yesterday, probably. Downgrades these guys, you know, and then they're down 4 or 5% down to $40. Like, thanks for the downgrade, whoever it was yesterday. I believe it was Morgan. Those guys are the worst, honestly. Like, I shouldn't even say that unless it was not Morgan yesterday. But I'm never going to let them down from that Carvana $1 call. Like, when Carvana was at $4, or I think it was maybe it was $6, they said Carvana is going down to $1 and then bankruptcy, right? It went down that day to like $2 or $3 on that news, and then now Carvana is 40.
They probably loaded up.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, here's my point about Morgan Stanley yesterday. Was it Morgan Stanley? People are saying it was. Sometimes I have a good memory for sure, and I wasn't even on yesterday. But $44 there, whack it down 10%. Down to 40 and change, and now the Walmart news comes out. Like, come on, man. So anyways, it's a nice move up. I still think about shorting that $48 mark, but at this point, guys, Affirm is off to the races. So let's get some more details about that. I like that $48 break. The sticky note is moments away from going out, and I got to get it out. So Tesla will be on there. Why don't you talk a little bit about Tesla or about Affirm? But I'm a buyer of Tesla in at 250, and you're going to see that in a second on the sticky note.
Yeah, so again, we're looking at Affirm fresh news in the pre-market just now, in works with Walmart for their checkout. So yeah, all I did was mark out last week's high right here, 47 kind of area here is the consolidation high of last week. Let's see if we can push through that. We got some support levels here as well to work with, 44s. Let's just take a quick look at a higher time frame to look a little bit further left. Can't see anything too far back. Let's go a little bit further on the daily there. Okay, all right, so we got some prices here. We haven't really seen these prices since April of 2022 here, and yeah, a little bit of a consolidation high in and around last week's high as well. So stacked resistance potential underneath, right underneath that 50. So maybe potential to push that 50 mark if this bid holds and the news kind of sentiment kind of continues into the day here. But yeah, we're pushing the highs of this consolidation area that we've been kind of chopping around in after a nice strong run up post earnings on Affirm. And yeah, Tesla was the other one, right? Tesla, I think we talked about Tesla here. That bit of a pullback off of that 260, kind of slowing down a little bit of that pop move there. Some support at 250s as well. I'm curious to know where this will go going forward from here.
We were just talking about this Google thing. I wonder if this applies to in-app purchases too, not just purchases.
It does.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a settlement to discuss here for Google. They're going to pay $700 million in an antitrust case that goes all the way back to 2016. So long story short, if you bought an app in Google Play between August 2016, and September of this year, you could receive $2. That's what I said. I was like, give me my $2. I want $2.
The Chilean Nightmare and Ram are very excited. No, in all seriousness, guys, they struck this deal in September, but they did keep it secret, waiting for the Epic Games, lawsuit to complete because there was a lot of overlap here. So here's how the money is going to be distributed. $630 million of that $70 million is going to go to a settlement fund. That's where you're going to get your $2 per person, or minimum of $2 per person. And then $70 million is going to go to a state fund. That's going to be used as kind of like the exemplary or punitive damages. With respect to other remedies, the company said it will expand the ability of app and game developers to provide consumers an alternative billing options for your in-app purchases that you were talking about. Also, it would simplify the user's ability to download apps directly from developers and forego the store entirely, Brenda.
And they also agreed to some changes when it comes to the actual policy and opening it up to encourage more competition as well. But here's Google back higher on that, guys.
The only thing is that, yeah, the $2 is great. Is it $2 per app or $2 like?
I think it was per person.
Per person?
Yeah, that's yeah.
I'll take a large one milk, please. You know, that's one coffee. But no, that's great. I mean, it's great news. And anytime you get a settlement, I mean, look, I own Google, so you know, we'll talk a little bit about our book here, just a little bit. It's not doing anything either, honestly. Like I've been watching this name bounce between 130 and 140 now for the whole month, basically, of December. That high is 140, the low is down here to 130. That actually goes back to middle of November. Now you're trying to break out again. To me, this name's not even that interesting until we do that. So I'm gonna stay away, honestly. Like Google will take down 142 probably pretty soon. It's just, for right now, that's pretty choppy. Looking at what we're seeing right now, it's a nice move up, sure, but you're still at 138, 139, so you still got a little ways to go. You're not really taking out any key levels. So for me today, honestly, good news for Google. Love the name. I'm well long this stock, but I don't really see a catalyst here today to get this name moving. Not in the same way that Affirm, Tesla. I like AMD at 140. Now, the sticky note's out, by the way. I like Lyft to short it, and I've added DraftKings onto the sticky note as well. So for me, Google's going to be a nothing, but if it starts to go, man, I mean, all of these names are ready to get lit up. Like this breaking through 137 is just as good as anything else. So you like that 137 break?
I have that 137 marked right here on my sticky note, kind of yesterday's high there, Sean. But off the open yesterday, Google was quite strong and kind of pushed that 132 all the way to 137 test, and then kind of pulled back off onto VWAP, but strong VWAP hold. But yeah, I don't think this news really is that much of an effect on them. Again, Google is a company that makes a lot more than that. A little bit of a brush off the shoulder for some fines there. That's just my opinion here. But I think that 137 will be a decent watch there. The fact that we held VWAP after such a strong drive off the open, I think the bid can definitely be on. I'll continue to be watching VWAP today to see if the bid continues to stay strong off of VWAP, and we can potentially take it into 137. But 137 is definitely a level I have marked. When you look left, I think Sean pointed out well that we kind of are in this consolidation range, about a 10-point range here. And take a look at these sellers that came in last earnings in and around this 140, 140 half level as well. Very, very strong sellers brought us all the way down to 120s before coming right back in. So I think that's something to consider here, but that 137 looks very interesting for sure.
Right, if you're old like Sharif and I and some others, you might remember these. There was a time in not too long ago where these were the only option when it comes to in-car navigation. These TomTom, you would essentially Velcro them to your dashboard and then input what you want. I was surprised. They actually still sell these. Even with smartphones these days. But anyways, let's talk about Microsoft here, because Microsoft is going to team up with TomTom to develop a large language model-based AI voice-activated in-car assistant is what they're calling it. So you can just essentially talk to your car and ask it where you should go and how to get there and things like that. So that's a great idea, I think.
Fabian just said that's how the caveman got around. For those, that makes me feel so bad about myself.
No, we're old.
No, in all seriousness, when I ask Siri for a query in my car, I say, I'm gonna activate everybody's Siri. Hey Siri, this, that, or the other. It's like, no, you're in the car.
Exactly.
I can't provide that to you at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, you can just read it out to me.
Yeah.
I don't need to look at the screen. So I hope that this kind of gets around that kind of dumb glitch.
Yeah, Google's the same. You have to unlock your screen and then ask it again, and then it says you're currently driving. But Microsoft guys downside a little bit.
I feel like I'm going to have bad news for Brendan and Sharif and all that. I mean, that's not going to change, I don't think, with Microsoft, because they have limits on what they're allowed to display. It's like why when your car's like in drive, you can't be like watching a movie or something on your front screen. There's like there's certain loopholes and there's ways around it. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's what it is. And I'm frustrated by the same thing. It's like, hey Siri, where's the local, I don't know, like my kids are asking me something like, how old is Taylor Swift or something? So you ask it that, 34, you knew that. You know, and then it will say, can't do that, you know, and you don't understand why. But that's pretty interesting for Microsoft. Again, like, look at all these big tech names. I feel like there's a rotation, and we just talked about this, into these BS names, like an Affirm, and like some of these names like a Roku, some of these names that have really been able to run Upstart, things like that. Upstart's probably ripping. We can look at Upstart right now too. You know, so this has been kind of in a little bit of a zone, and I don't know if it's worth trading until we break one way or the other. So 365, beautiful bottom, 385 top, but we're literally in the middle of that at 372, 373 right now. So for me, Microsoft is not like the sexy thing to trade today. I mean, if we drop in here, like this is why I use a 20-minute chart. We only have 2 minutes to go. Trying to find levels here. So like, is this one 375? I could see that. I don't know if I want to go short Microsoft, but that could be a good short. And then if you take it though, maybe you got to give it to 378. So 378 into 380, I think that's a decent short, but we're still so far away from that. And then as far as the longs are concerned, I mean, yesterday's bottom was 369, but I don't know if this is good enough news for me to buy dips on. So 2 minutes to go. Microsoft, not really on my watch. As I just said something about Upstart, look, I mean, this name's running as well right now. 48 bucks, up 3%, starting to go. So we'll see if Upstart gets some love off this Affirm news. And there's Affirm right here, not doing a whole heck of a lot. Looking at that 46.50. I think that 46.50 is probably a break long right there, right off the open. That's 46.70. Feel like we'll have missed that. Remember that Costco that I said, hey, everybody buy that $50 break there on Costco? That was $6.50. I said it's going to go from $6.50 to $6.60. It's now $6.80.
Yeah.
So Costco continues to be a monster here today as well. All right, in a minute and a bit left. What do you want to do?
I'm just looking at Softy as well. I did have 375 kind of marked as a level of resistance, kind of just pointing out that range that you just you mentioned there. Yeah, a little bit of a range, 360s to 370s, 375s being kind of the highs there, 377 previous week's highs. But we've already started to sell off of that level in the pre-market here, off of those imbalances. So maybe you got to be a little bit more patient for that 375 to come in. But yeah, I'll definitely be watching Softy here. Kind of a strong trend since last Thursday after that strong sell-off that happens. We keep buying up these dips, and the dips get higher and higher lows kind of happening into that 375. So I think that'd be a decent look going today with only about 30 seconds
Let's
for the bell.
Yeah, we'll throw back. Do you want to throw back? Let's just hold it off. We're not going to throw back to Boeing right now. So Boeing on a huge move. We will. Maybe Brendan can come in and talk about Boeing as the market goes on. But again, check our watchlist.tradertv.live. All the information is up in there with only 7 seconds to go. Here we go, man. It's going to be a good day. Let's watch out for a firm as we start to go to the upside. 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. So I'm looking at Lyft today. I'm looking at a few different names. We're going to watch out to see if we get any fills anywhere in the space. So a firm on the NASDAQ looking to make moves up. There it goes. We talked about that move. Maybe just a 47 break, and we'll take it. But Lyft is really just screaming. We just, there it goes. Let's try it. Let's try a small little trade. We talked about getting long at 46.50 there on the break. Obviously, that's working out. We're very, very small on this one. Do you want to finish off the rundown? No, okay, good. I wasn't sure what he was saying there. All right, here we go. We're now open. First position is a long here on a firm. I do not love it. So I just knew we missed that early pop. Let's see if we break back down below 46, but right now it's long a firm. It's the only position I got on. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, so the Google kind of breaking that level right off the open there, 137, previous day's high. We saw how strong it was off the open there yesterday. So I did get involved as well. Kind of in and around those levels. So let's see how long this kind of, again, yesterday was pretty strong there. 155 coming in on Amazon as well.
I bet.
155, so let's see how far that one gets. 155 was an area as well that I did want to interact with.
Let's go affirm.
Be a little bit more patient as it is kind of pulling back in off of that level. 155 consolidation, I think I'd like to work with that. But the NQ is kind of blasting back up. That 17th thou, we're pretty much knocking on the door of that 17th thou, only about 15 to 20 points away there, Sean.
Yeah, here we go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Here we go. It's already money time. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show one more time. It's just 50. What's up to 50 cent right now? This is not the game. This is not, Dre. This is 50 cent. We're in here right now. It's 47.50, and here we go. Bye-bye, 50 cent. Maybe if he went on sale, it would be 40 cents. But right now, we're 60 cents in the money and still going. Remember you said yesterday, no dollar club winners? We are moments away from one right now. So here we go. Let's go. Come on, Affirm. 20 more cents, and we get to spin everyone's favorite emoji. I don't know, I guess there must have been some yesterday. We already talked about that, but maybe not. Here comes Affirm right now. We're sitting in the 90s, and here it is. Can we get it? One more penny, and then we already have, oh no, we just stopped at that, but who cares? All right, nice move on that one. We'll wait to see what is happening with our boy Lyft. We can pretty much spin that dollar in just a second, so we'll get that in just 1 minute. Remember, what? Oh my God, Lyft. All right, Lyft was something that we wanted to sell, man, and we talked about that. There it goes. Geez, man, did that get aggressive early. All right, let's take a little bit of share. Let's take a few shares, not a little bit of shares. Let's take some shares right now on Lyft as we'll punch that 60 short and then, collapse this name just a little bit. And you know that we like dime pieces on this show. So there it is, bang, right now. We're bringing the energy, man. I have no idea what it was like yesterday, but we're here today. And there it is, man. It's a nice move for Lyft. It's a nice move for Affirm. We're going to go 2 for 2 right now. And then AMD, people are saying, oh my God, oh my God. AMD right now, Rip City, as if we're in Portland. AMD, nice move. Back up to the upside right now. Let's see what happens. Wow. Is there something on AMD? This is like basically straight up $2 into an oblivion right now. We like that short, but why bother now? Maybe we'll take it against 141. Let's try that.
Okay, yeah. So initial try on that 137, I do get stopped out. of that trade, but it kind of reclaims that 137, so I'm trying to get involved again. 155, a little bit of resistance happening off of that 155 level. We broke back down into 154s, and yeah, the NQ kind of still hasn't really gone past this pre-market wick here. I'm seeing that got close to 16,990 as well. 154 holding as a little bit of support as well. Let's take a look at some of these other names. Softy not really going as much, kind of fell off the open. Apple kind of consolidating well, just well within its pre-market range as well. Now again, it's only been 4 minutes since the open, so we got to wait and see. I'm trying to be as patient as possible and kind of waiting to let some structure define itself to really get involved. I have my levels down. I have the Google trade on. Let's see what we do. And another thing as well, Sean, ES is pretty much close to its highs as well. 48.08 is the high there, and we're only about 4 points away from that. So just knocking on the door of that level as well. 137 holding strong as of right now. Let's see where we go. A little bit of a lackluster strength when really compared to yesterday on Google here. So we might take a little bit longer to push if we are going to push that 137. But if not, and we come back down, that's perfectly fine as well.
All right, so some bad news. We got stopped out of our, well, so first of all, not really that bad news. We took some 60s, but then it broke 141 and we got out of AMD. So we're going to go back in it against this 141.20. So let's see if we can collapse back in. Affirm, good trade. We're right back up to the highs again. Why don't we just take some of this out? Well, maybe we can break higher here on Affirm. Let's just see if it goes. We're still waiting for dollars, so we're 50 cents in the money on Affirm. We are now 25 cents in the money on this lift trade. So I'm pretty happy with this one as well, as this is coming back in. And then honestly, let's see what okay, let's go Affirm. Can we get it right now? We're pretty close, man. I'm just waiting at 48 bucks. Maybe we can get this right now. We're almost 10 more cents, and we do have that vaunted dollar club in it right now. So there goes AMD, by the way. We said we would short it, but it's blasting. So let's get away from AMD. Like, that name is absolutely on fire. We should have just shorted the other way around. Well, again, we're down on it, but we're not down that much. We said let's look at 140 until it breaks. Well, guess what? She gone. She broke. So there goes AMD. Huge move to the upside. Let's just stay on this Affirm tip. Like, it is kind of funny that it keeps on stopping at exactly $1, but there it is right there. Hey, Sharif. Yes, sir. It's the dollar club, and we're already hitting that right now. So there it is right there. We got a nice little win on Affirm for a nice little move to the upside. Lyft isn't quite working out. We do now have a bid down here at 30 bucks. Everyone wants to talk about CGen, but let's go see what Adara's up to.
Yeah, I just have Sonova up here. NOVA is the ticker. This one is up almost 14% after getting an upgrade from Piper Sandler to overweight. The price target of $26, guys. Keep an eye on Nova.
All right. Wow, that is yeah, we can keep an eye on Nova for sure, but that is an absolute rocket ship, that AMD. And by the way, here comes Lyft right back into day's low again. So hopefully we can get this bid on Lyft. I'm bidding 31s to get a little bit spicier than that and see if we can't get something at the bottom here for Lyft. So hopefully we can get that. Affirm really starting to go now, guys. Affirm is now almost $2 in the money. Now up $1.48 on Affirm as that continues to go. This is, again, how many trades do you need? Here goes Affirm. 48.70. I'm just glad that we talked about all this with everybody. So it's a nice move up there for Affirm. Let's see if it can continue. We're now $2, guys. This is now $2. Like I said, everyone's going to trade differently. Here's a $2 winner. Cannot guarantee that we're going to have these every day. But if I'm sitting in this seat, hopefully we'll find some opportunities like this for you guys out there. So there it is right here. It's $2. It's Affirm. Congratulations.
Yeah, some solid trades there on Affirm. Again, kind of in play today. Nice little drive happening there. I'm still getting involved with Google here. Again, like I said, I'm going to stay a little bit more patient, like I've mentioned before, waiting for some structure to form to play off of to really put on some risk there. But that 136 kind of coming in, dipping into that pre-market level. 136 is yeah, that 137. We were definitely a little too early for that 137 getting involved that high, and then you want to again, it comes back in. and then it starts to slow down. So I didn't want to get involved once again at that for that level there. But Amazon hard selling off that 155. Oh boy, yeah. I was like, I only had one idea there.
Oh boy,
I was like,
oh boy.
I'm gonna get long above 155 there, and that 155, it was not a long level. It came in. I looked for the hold. It did not hold, and then it flushes down into 154s. I was like, all right, well, we'll toss that idea out the window and wait for some consolidation, wait for some structure to potentially form to really get involved with our next idea. And here comes that 137 once again, Sean, on the Google. So a little bit of a pop drop before coming back in for that 137, and we catch all of that kind of move there. Let's see if that 137 pushes past yesterday's high. Yesterday's high again being in and around that 137.14 level, and we are pushing above that as of right now. So that 137 kind of coming in and showing that Google may continue that strength that we've had from yesterday. Again, ridiculous strength. We're breaking out of a little bit of a weekly time frame there as well on Google. So let's go. How far this goes. I'm going to try to hold on to this for the potential 17th thou test.
I like that.
Right? It's coming in. It's coming in real hot there. 20 points away. We've tested a couple more times, and with Google kind of running like this, Amazon bouncing off of some levels as well. 153. Hello.
Bring it down. Bring it on down to Shortville. I mean, here we go. Come on, AMD. Finally, man, we're now positive on AMD. We just shorted that top at 142.20. I mean, you can keep going up, but if I'm going to be sitting there, you're damn right I'm going to be trying that short one more time. Its 52-week high is 141.80. They just went for a jog. We waited. This is the part of getting out, man. This is why you got to get out of your trades, you know, when they're not right. We got out early. We let it rip up. Then we shorted it. Hey, man, the bad guy is here. Look at AMD right now. Nice 40-cent move to the downside. And by the way, let's also take $1.70 if we can on a firm. We did not think we were going to go this high, did we? I mean, can we take out $50 today? I'm here for that. I'm also here to get a piece out, and that's exactly what we do. So let's go, man. $1.80 now, $1.90 now in the money for a firm as we spin that bad boy back and forth and around. And here goes AMD again. Nice move to the short side now for AMD, as my guy over there, Sharif, calls it. That's I don't know. I don't love that, but that's Sharif's. That's what he likes it. So right there on AMD, and sorry about your Cowboys there. I was watching that game, and they just didn't. Thing is, man, did you wind up going? The weather wasn't great. No, yeah. Anyways, long story short, that was a little disappointed in that game. I was like all jacked up to watch it, and then of course my Packers, like, get out of here, Packers! Come on, you gotta do better than that right now. Yeah. So. The Bills are still a dangerous team. Okay, here comes AMD. So this is why, man, like, I was just saying, take profits where you see fit. So here goes AMD. My out is right here, right now, man, up at 50 cents. So we're about to get blown out, and then we'll get back off. So I just said, man, we made some money back, but we will not be green on it because we did not get out of everything on that downside. We are just spinning it for 60 cents, and then it winds up being an L on the top of that. So, all right, it's Miss Adara, and she's at the desk.
Yeah, just to be aware right now, Fedbarkin is speaking right now. Comments coming in, including basically the idea that demand and inflation are normalizing, but basically that Fedbarkin thinks that inflation is more stubborn than the average Fed official, and that Fed comments are just comments. They're not necessarily guidance. So keep an eye on Fedbarkin's comments here, guys.
Yeah, apparently I knocked down the bull there. Thank you very much for that one, Sharif.
Ooh,
the bull. The AMD was like, don't worry about that bull, my guy. This is a straight fire move right now to the upside. Super hot fire. We also did, let's go, man. We are now, this is an official, sorry, I know I'm talking way too much here, Obi. But we are reloaded. Do you have any positions? You got Google.
Yeah, I got the Google on.
We're reloaded on Apple, on a firm Apple. The other one, Lyft, is what we are just got shorted on. So we are now reloaded into a short, and my wife just sent me a message. Apple. I love you too. Let's go.
Yeah, that Apple, I'm watching Apple kind of pushing, ripping up back towards its highs there. 137 holding as of right now, and then a little bit of a bounce off that 153 halves as the NQ. There it is, Sean, kind of coming in, only about 5 points away from that 17th thou. So yeah, very interested to see what we do in and around that number. Again, We've come quite a long way there. It's only yesterday that I was calling out numbers of like 15.9, 15.6, and we're all the way 1,000 points.
You dollar cost average long,
that.
right?
What's that?
Dollar cost average long?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good. Is that a no?
No, that's a. Yeah.
It's hard to get long. I don't want to buy up here.
Yeah, no,
I can't. I've already said I feel like there's a dip coming, and I feel like these are sell levels. But all right, where have you taken an out yet on that Google?
No,
I will look at
not
crypto
yet.
Nimit. Honestly, there's so much to go. Go ahead.
I'm like I said, I'm waiting for. I'm gonna let this kind of let this work a little bit and see if whether or not we push into that 17th thou. I think that'll definitely be a little bit more convincing there. Again, Softy kind of catching a little bit of a bounce here as well. Let's take a quick look at Meta and AVGO. Again, other decent constituents. I have my Affirm alert going off here for 47. I didn't even see where that kind of
Affirm is at 49.
Wow. All right,
$3,
so definitely
$3.
missed that trade. 350 coming in on Meta there. 350 is the high right now. Meta straight up off the open. Then that's pretty ridiculous there in terms of price action. Kind of strong, doing the same thing over and over again for the past 2 days. Friday as well, very strong push off the open, and yesterday very strong push as we kind of continue that. What was the open here? 334s kind of push all the way up into 350s, 348s, and then today we're actually getting that 350 test on Meta. So Meta's super strong there, Sean. And AVGO. Let's see if our friend AVGO is doing more of the same today. Not really, kind of a little bit more muted, but yeah, I was talking about this name there, and you can see how it's been having a very strong push pretty much every day. And yesterday was a little bit muted, and today seems like it's a little muted as well. But there is no lack of strength when it comes to this market here, as we've been raging to the upside ever since. So a little bit of a pullback here coming in on the Google as well. So I gotta stay watching this really close and see if this kind of continues and potentially catches a bid. Where is VWAP? VWAP's 136.90. So we're chopping and churning in around that level as of right now. So if we are gonna do a little bit of an uptrend, let's see if these levels hold.
All right, I like all that, man. We have a new position right now, and some of you are going to be wondering what I'm doing shorting Rivian. Well, we just shorted it, so let's wait to see exactly what we're doing. I'm going to go short against this 30. We're short right now at O's, exactly at O's. So 30 cents. Feel like we'll get something out here at the bottom if we're lucky. I mean, I'm not even going to. Honestly, Affirm is really super hot fire, as we've already said, so we'll let that go a little bit. If we can get a little drop down here for Rivian, that would be nice. And then we are average into our lift. Lift could be a problem. We did not want lift until it got to 16, but it did sort of collapse early. Now we got to give it, unfortunately, I got to give it to like 15 and a quarter, something like that, like up into these pre-market highs. Like that's 15. What is this exactly? Yeah, 15.30, 15 and a quarter. I got to give it to that. So we're no more averaging in until we get down low on lift. We'll get some out, but a nice little move up. 15.1 or 15 will be an average in for me. But here it goes. We're in the money for it, so that's a pretty good one. Was that a call for Miss A? Yes. Let's go.
Just be aware of Apple here. A report from Bloomberg coming in saying that Apple's planning to make some software changes in order to avoid halting the sales for some of those Apple Watch models with regards to the ongoing patent dispute with Masimo over the blood oxygen. So keep an eye on Apple as this news comes out here, guys.
Yeah, Apple kind of coming back in. 196 is coming back in. Yeah, a little bit of a tank happening. We pulled back off of those highs, that 16,990-ish area. Pretty strong pullback there on the NQs. And yeah, some of these names doing a little bit of a pullback. But something that's holding its own there is that 134. I hear Sharif saying 350.
Yeah, I just don't know what I want to do with that one. That's the only problem. It's just, it's straight. All right, I mean, let's talk about it, because there's no point in me talking about it with Sharif and you and not everybody else. Okay, so the problem with Meta is just like, it's so amazing that, you know, you're continuously going. I just feel like you got to buy these dips. Like, to break through 350, okay, well, there it is. I mean, you just had it, and there, I was going to say you could we've missed it. We missed the trade. But the trade I was going to say was just a slam through 350. Like we saw AMD break 140 and it was gone right there. You could have had an instant 40 cents anyways if you just held it for, I don't know, 10 seconds there on that break. So it is a nice move, but I just feel like it's gapping right now. Like this is a nice move to the upside. You just said this yesterday, we were at 335. I just don't know what's changed in all of this. Like I am really surprised. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm long meta. I'm loving it. But the thing is, oh man. The thing is that I think it's a little frothy. I mean, it's the same way with AMD here. I mean, we can say this all we want. Like to be long, I feel like these names are right now hold, don't trade. We did mention that as I don't think anyone's going to be selling heading into Christmas time. And that's this month, that's this week. So this month, I'm not expecting too many sells to be hitting the platforms here. So AMD, nice move up. You are going to get pullbacks, right? There goes Meta. Like look at this Meta now is just huge.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity, man. We can sit here and talk about it all we want, but that's a missed opportunity. And there we go. Nicely done to the upside. Congratulations, anybody that has that. I don't.
That Affirm 50 is coming in only about 50 pennies away from that. But yeah, very, very strong breakout off of that 47 area. Again, that alert kind of coming off, and I definitely missed that trade there, Sean. So yeah, strong continuation. I gotta wait now to see if it kind of comes back in, or that strength is gonna continue going through that 50 mark, 20 pennies away, right there.
I want to throw up. Do you see AMD?
No, I haven't. What's AMD up to?
Man, everything right now is tank city. We tried that short, but we were $1 early, or else that would have been a monster. Just goes to show you, man, keep looking. First of all, right now, guess how many? It's not $1. You guys didn't have any dollar winners yesterday. Did you have $2 winners? I don't know if you did, but this is a $3 winner right now. Wow. And there it is for Affirm right now, 3 in the money on that one, but that's okay. We can always talk about that later. Lyft is not doing anything, nor is Rivian. We do have our top targets for all of them. All of them. What's up to Roblox? I think Roblox is going to be a big winner in the new year. So again, we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. I just feel that it will. I like Roblox. It's not doing too much right now. It's a huge move to the upside here on RBLX. I just feel that this is a name that you definitely want to be in heading into the new year. I feel like kids staying at home, there's going to be a lot of these gift cards bought, a lot of Robux spent over the next couple holidays. We saw ATVI get bought out for a nice premium by Microsoft. Thing is, on Roblox, man, this is just a cloud play. You can play any of these games just in the cloud. It doesn't matter where you are. You open up your Roblox app. Next thing you know, you have access to literally hundreds of thousands of games that are all developed by developers, not Roblox themselves. I really like the platform. I think Roblox can win. But here we go, man. Affirm now $3 in the money and touching $50 right now. AFRM. We called this play breaking through 46.50. There it is right there. Not only do we have it, we've been holding it, so we're still into 20% of this one. And Affirm right now. That's all you need sometimes is a couple good trades. Here comes Rivian. We didn't get that 10, although we are waiting. Oh, no, I wasn't waiting any higher. I was waiting higher than this. Okay, so we got to get maybe a little bit more short here on Rivian as it's pulling back as well.
Yeah, so I'm still watching this kind of, I'm waiting for that structure to build there on Amazon. Hasn't really done anything too crazy yet other than sell off of that 155 in the morning. Didn't really, like you guys were here, didn't really plan on taking it short. The plan was to get long above a hold above 155, but again, that never really came in. And look at the NQ here, Sean. A little bit of volatility kind of comes right back in, and then look at that wick on the 15-minute. Only about 7 minutes left, so about half of the 15-minute candle left to print, and then you get that strong bottom wick happening on the NQs there. Google is still holding relatively well within that 136 half area here. Yeah, I could have definitely taken some profits off above that 137, and I was not, I guess, nimble enough to kind of realize that that 17th thou may not come in as clean as I'm looking for it to come in. But definitely some volatility happening in and around these key levels here. Again, I think what's your opinion? A key level kind of comes in. Do you expect it to be clean? Do you expect it to be messy? Something like 17th thou on the NQ.
Hold on a second. I think, you know what? I mean, we saw the way, I'm going to do the campus in a second. I did see the way that AMD took down that 140, the way that Meta took down 350, and we're going to see it right now with Affirm taking down $50. Obviously, when you're having psychological levels, I mean, we just take a basketball reference and yay sports for you over there, but ball don't lie.
Yep.
You know, the ball does not lie. It just rejected clean off 17. So whether or not, my opinion, whatever it is, I think we're going to take it out. I think we just bounced off VWAP and the 50 period and have come back in for that. So let's just see what happens right now at 17,000. I mean, I think staying long is the right way to do it. I'm just loading up the website there, Fabian, so please do not cut my mic. Here it is right here. Let's go. It's campus.daytradetheworld.com. You got to join. I mean, look, I can only say so much because I don't even know if there's any room left. If you don't hit this apply now, the start date is January 2nd. I run into these guys all the time, and they're just like, thank you so much for talking about this on the show, because they are getting bombarded. What's up to D-Loaf? What's up to everybody there's currently people that are in the chat right now that are running through the program. This is for Canadians. So right now, unfortunately, we're working on getting it throughout the rest of the world. It is just a campus program. Phase 1, start by learning. Phase 2, learn about the platform. This is the market and structure and what's going to be required from you. Then you got the platform. Then you got trading goals coming up there in TMS, which is training mode. And then you have also phase 4, which is the actual live mode. This is if you're in school or just have part-time hours. Hey, maybe you're driving Uber. Maybe you're, I don't know, doing something on the side. You got a side hustle it up with trading. This has really made a big difference in my life, and I think it can in all of yours as well, man. You got to love what you do, and the passion is strong with this one. Get it with yourself as well. It's campus.daytradetheworld.com. Make sure you hit this apply stat, and as seen on some show called Trader TV Live. So that's that. All right. So right now, Lyft is lifting my net the wrong way. Right now, it's going downside, but we're still really positive and really happy with today's performance. Rivian is not super happy time for me. I have some bids down there at 90. We're just not getting them. So I'm still bidding 90s. We have a couple reloaded positions. If we can scalp this out at day low, then hold for the break, which I think is going to happen, then that would be fantastic, and we will wait for that. Let's not get too crazy about this Rivian position. If it doesn't want to go, our out is 30 cents higher. It would suck, because this one I'm getting worried about, because my ratio of 1-to-1 is not good here. 30 cents high side, it's got to drop 30 cents. For right now, it's not even dropping. So this is a tough trade right here. It's going to be Rivian. And yeah, Coinbase. I mean, right now, Bitcoin is 42.2. Did you guys trade Coinbase yesterday? Because this is bidding some nice highs right here. 157, a possible fade for coin.
Yes, brand new highs. Congratulations.
Yes, is in order. I mean,
4808s. We made it.
it's probably the bank stocks. I mean, JP Morgan's been an absolute monster, up 0.2%, now up to 167. Yo, Obi, kill him with kindness, man. Good call.
Yeah, that again, a lot of got to check the SPY here. SPY 473 coming in, 474 I have as a little bit of an area here, but yeah, ES breaking through its previous highs there, all-time highs, 4808 and some change.
Getting a coffee?
And what was the high
No,
right
no,
now?
only if you're
Let's see, 4808.
Yeah.
I guess it's still trying to make that 4808.
Yeah, like a little shot of almond milk.
70s, I think, seems to be the price there. So yeah, very, very strong action on some of these names here. Let us know in the chat if you guys are trading any of these S&P names that might be running off of this ES move here. I'm not seeing any. Again, tech is not as strong, clearly, and we're not seeing that move really happen on tech names. But let me know what other tickers might be moving here. People are talking about Rivian as well. Let's take a quick look at Rivian real quick.
We've got Rivian.
And okay, so Rivian kind of still holding its opening range there. Let's take a quick look at Tesla. Skybear asking, can you look at VinFast? Sure, we can take a quick look at VinFast as well. Tesla, nice drive off the open, but holding underneath kind of this yesterday's consolidation area as well. What was the name? Oh yeah, VinFast, VFS. All right, so let's take a quick look at VinFast Auto. Does this thing do any significant volume to begin with? Let's take a quick check here if the page will load. Okay, so it's only done about 500K on the day, but it does 4.5 mil volume on average, so that's not too bad. But no real significant move here. Still well within that opening range here. Holly talking about Mara. Yeah, Mara definitely. Oh wow, take a look at this. This thing tested 20 yesterday, and we're only continuing today. I do have Mara on the sticky note, but I'm looking for that $20 area, $20 level, and that never really came in. It gives you the 20 halves off the open. It kind of comes into yesterday's kind of after hours consolidation and just rips, continuing off that move there. So my next question is, what is Bitcoin up to? Is the Bitcoin move kind of fueling this move as well? Bitcoin kind of flushing, so not really too in sync with that with the Bitcoin as of right now. But the fact of the matter is, Bitcoin has been holding this 40,000 pretty well in this consolidation over the past couple of weeks there. So that's pretty solid there. And yeah, Mara, Riot kind of catching a little bit of a bid. And I was talking to Neil about this yesterday, kind of comparing Riot, Mara, and what was it, Clean Spark, CLSK as well. Mara and Riot both have a significantly more, pretty much double short float than CLSK. And we were talking about how that sentiment can be a little bit reflected in the price action.
We got traders long Mara at $10.
Oh,
now
wow.
it's at $21.
That is.
If you're not great, I mean, thanks for bringing it up. Like, sure, it's a show that I'm very proud of. We're all proud of the recap show, okay? But this is why. Thank you so much, Sharif, for reloaded coffee. This guy's amazing. This is why, like, I'm personally reaching out to the guests that we've had on the recap show. We had Michael Noss on, and I said, okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. You talked about it on this show, I believe, as well. And he was exactly pointed that out. He said, if you're looking at Bitcoin right now, you should be looking at Mara because of the short interest and the relationship that it's had with Bitcoin on Bitcoin strong moves like this. And there's Mara. And I mean, all we talked about was buying sort of, this swoosh down. We completed it. And you see this garbage here at $10. We got that out of here. And then it was just straight up to the upside. I mean, I'm pretty sure Michael's out of it. We can call him back. I'm not going to talk about someone else's book, but we've already hit that level. I know this was somewhat of a target. Nice move back up to the upside. Oh yeah, and ye of little faith, everybody out there. We've already took a couple outs there on Rivian. Rivian just flushed into the 80s. I had a bid there at 81. It looks like it went to 83. Let's see if we get that back going. An average in on a lift as well. That needs to go. But it's 10 o'clock, so it's update time with Adara at the big desk.
Yeah, we have the market positive on the day. Here's the daily chart on the SPY, definitely to the upside. We had some comments from Fed's Barkin earlier today as well, basically saying quite a few comments, but kind of in summary here, that demand and inflation are normalizing, that there is some retreat in inflation, and they're basically just looking for conviction that inflation will be coming back into target. So that's some comments from Fed's Barkin right now, positive on the day. In terms of individual stocks moving, Enphase pulling back a little bit now, but still up about 6.5% after announcing a plan to slash its workforce by 10% as part of a global restructuring plan due to lower demand. We also have Chewy up 8% after Jeffrey initiated coverage with the buy rating and the $27 price target. And last but not least, Boeing still definitely on watch, up 1% after receiving an order from Lufthansa Group for some 737 jets. Brought to you by SurgeTrader, where traders can get a funded trading account up to $1 million and keep up to 90% of the profits. The program has simple rules, no time limits. Just go to surgetrader.com/TTV and use the promo code TTV for 10% off.
Nice, thank you, Dara. Kind of a strong pullback here on Amazon. Again, I was waiting for that structure to form. No real structure other than a couple minutes of consolidation around that 154, but that 155. Oh boy, is that level coming in real hard as we're testing 152s and some change off of that level. So no stopping the selling on Amazon off that 155 as of right now. I'm looking left at yesterday's consolidation low in and around that 152, so maybe we catch some relief off the 152. But yeah, the trend is definitely to the downside here on Amazon today. Surprisingly well hold on Google, kind of holding this pre-market low, this consolidation low, opening reaction low as well, just above that 136. And yeah, just teetering in and around our average here, 136.60s area. Watching Apple as well. Apple hasn't really gone too far either. Kind of a similar story as the Google here, just chopping around within its opening range candle here on Apple as well. Let's take a quick look at Microsoft. Microsoft selling off of that 375 area as well. That 375, decent kind of a level. If you look left, you can see that there were sellers, strong aggressive sellers last week on Thursday off of this area. And yeah, this is pretty much what I was looking for today, whether or not those sellers come back in if we do test in and around that 375. But it seems like they're doing some selling off of pre-market and coming in to the support that we've been seeing over the past couple of days in and around that 368, 369 level. 370 is nice as well. You can see that consolidation hold above VWAP yesterday. So yeah, definitely those VWAP buyers are no longer really there on a softie today relative to yesterday. A bit of selling going off of VWAP. So yeah, a little bit of a disconnect in terms of some of these constituents. Some of them relatively stronger than others. But I think we've been noticing that discrepancy as of late, right? It's not really as clean,
right,
and it's not really as in sync. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a change, and you got to be wary of that if you're trying to trade beta, if you're trying to trade confluence off of multiple large caps as well. You got to be wary that yeah, sometimes certain things disconnect, so you gotta weight them a little bit differently and stay nimble as possible. 152 and change, kind of coming back up through that 153. Again, if this is gonna sell off this strong, I'm talking about Amazon here, I'm gonna be waiting for a little bit of structure. Take a look at that wick back up on the NQs, kind of coming right back in. This is the second 15-minute candle that has wicked off of this level with only about 10 minutes left. All right, so hasn't really printed too much. We still have 2/3 of the candle left to print in terms of time, but with about 10 minutes left to print this 15-minute candle, we were already seeing a little bit of a bid come in at the same place we saw it come in on the previous candle here. So I think that's an interesting look that we keep getting bought up in and around this 16,950, 16,960s area. Let's see how strong this bid really is. I'm looking for a little bit of a turn. Softy kind of coming in as well. 370 holding. 152 was a support on Amazon yesterday. Apple still holding that 195, 196 area. 195 was pretty solid. I mean 196 it's holding today, but hasn't really gone too far past that 197. Now 197 is the only level that I have written down on Apple for today. It hasn't really come into play yet, so we didn't really interact with that level just yet. But this NQ, man, although if you're looking at some of these pre-market levels, the trend is to the upside. The sell that's coming off of this 17 is kind of aggressive and volatile price action there. So I'm still holding on. I'll be patient. Again, it's been what? It's been one 15-minute candle that's printed. So two 15-minute candles. So I'm going to be, again, a little bit more patient. I haven't really seen a lot of what I want to see, and I guess one of the only big trades that I think I missed out on was, again, a firm long through that 47 level as it pushed 3 points into 50s there. So 153 coming in as a hold. So I'll stay watching this tape here, Sean, to see if this consolidation is anything significant, or we kind of continue to sell off here. But the trend on Amazon seems to be quite telling here today.
All right, and we talked about the trend of your friend, and I'm glad that we're following trend today for sure. Okay, so first of all, Rivian, again, it broke. We told you we were waiting down here at the 80 level, and that we thought potentially our risk to reward wouldn't work all the way up to 24.30. So that's pretty good. We're now at half of Rivian, as we got a few more there at 90s, and then we did get that 82 fill there, which is a pretty good one for yours truly there. So that was not lucky, but able to get it. So all right, in what is a new position right here, we'll load it up. It's going to be Intel against 4605. Just want to see it break 46 and give it a little bit more room. We will be averaging into this one closer to 46. So I'm actually at 97. So let's wait on that one. There's been some talk in the chat, and look, I Again, all of us trade much differently here on the show. Many different share sizes, many different names, many different styles, right? And so it's hard for me to look up every single name for everybody all of the time when I'm currently in positions and have, you know, obviously trading and money on the line here, right? So, but Carvana, like when you guys were like, let's look at Carvana, I didn't even, honestly, I was throwing shade at Morgan Stanley for a $1 price target. It's now $60. Like I had no idea over this move over the last couple days. So let's have a look at this together as if we're looking at it for the first time, because wow, Carvana, like what is up? And the thing about all of this is, someone asked me earlier, what is a refinancing play? And I talked about this on Friday. Was I here Friday? I was here Friday. When we looked at Ford and we looked at GM and we looked at Carvana on Friday when I was here. And I said, I think this is a play on rates. You know, as interest rates come falling back in, we are a consumption-based economy. Like everybody wants a new car. Everybody wants that new shiny toy. And if you've been waiting for the last couple of years to get a car because of rates, well, right now, your investments are at all-time high. We just talked about that. You mentioned the S&P at all-time high, NASDAQ at all-time high. So your investments are doing pretty good. You're still employed. You know, the employment rate is ridiculously low probably for where we should be. You know, so say a lot of people. You know, so you're probably feeling pretty good. So I could see Carvana catching the drift of that trend and going to the upside for here and for a little bit longer period. So let's see what happens with Carvana. It's a nice move up, and we just looked at levels. Like you're above everything right now. So I would just say $60, which we're coming back into, could be something there for a level. I like to use 50-period moving averages, but that's not here till $54. Carvana's off and gone. So VWAP is $59.50. I say you just hold it till then. Congratulations, anybody that's long Carvana. And I don't know if Lyft is borrowing cars or what, but like right now, I'm not getting any love on this Lyft position. We're short at 1485. It just looks like we're just averaging up blindly here, but we're gonna wait till 20 break, which could be coming up pretty soon. Come on, Lyft, man, you can do it. Let's fall back down to the downside. And again, on insider selling, that's all. Looks like they were wrong, and so was I. Right now, but they were selling the last couple of days, so they've been right. Nice move up. Let's see if Lyft can hold this. Quickly before I throw it back, let me just check what Uber's doing. Again, it would be nice if Uber was falling, if I'm going to be short Lyft, and you could see Uber's not doing a whole heck of a lot, still hovering around its highs. I don't think you break $64 on Uber, and probably until the new year, but again, some hangover from the rebalance. Oh, that sucks, man. Lyft still wants to go higher here.
Yeah, the 153 kind of balancing here. I did mark out that 61 on Uber, and that didn't really come in yet. So that 61 I have marked. Yesterday's consolidation, we've held above that level and a strong push out the open, but can't really get past yesterday's high either. So I'm going to stay a little bit more patient there for the Uber to come in. Now again, I'm doing my best to kind of to take trades at the levels I have kind of planned and waiting for them to come in, kind of switching up the style there a little bit, Sean, because I find myself getting chopped up a lot when I'm not waiting for levels and kind of anticipating the move. But if I like a level and I'm at the level, I want to kind of hold on and kind of wait for that to come in, and just to avoid the over trading. I find that like as of recent, I'm getting chopped up unnecessarily, just taking trades that I don't really have planned. So you know, it's not the best way to kind of conduct business. You don't want to deal with levels or certain ideas that you didn't really properly think through too well, right? So that 153 is holding as of right now. Like I said, I'm going to be waiting for Amazon to print some structure. So it seems like we're finally starting to build a little bit of structure here, a bit of a bounce on Softy as well as Amazon, of course, as well, and SPY kind of continuing that strength there. I'm looking at some of these candles here. 15-minute candles looking pretty decently strong there, and the NQ NQ, that 15-minute candle, we were talking about how there's only like 9 minutes left. That 15-minute candle goes red to green, back up into that 16,980s area here with only about 2.5 minutes left to print. Google still holding well within its range. Again, with the market taking a little bit of a bounce, let's see whether or not. Okay, there goes the ES kind of pushing again more new highs. Let's see if the NQ can show us a little bit more of the same there. That 17th hour I think might be a little bit crowded, the idea there, and maybe we can be looking for some sellers as well. Like I said, again, we've come quite a long way, and yeah, maybe people have been waiting. But you said earlier today that people don't want to sell.
Yep,
right?
wow,
So
I don't think they do.
That's what you're saying.
I mean, what do you think?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
I don't have an idea either, other than looking at the charts. I mean, you just mentioned to me NASDAQ all-time highs, S&P 500. I mean, doesn't sound like people are selling. You can't get highs if people hit the sell button. Yeah, and don't get high off your own supply. Thank you for that, Sharif,
Thanks.
on that one as well. All right, well, you know what people are not hitting the sell button on? Anything. I mean, Rivian is starting to go back up to the upside. We did get a little bit of a dip there. I was still giving this to 30, so I'm going to give it to 20. I'm going to put another, first of all, Intel's falling down, which is nice, but I don't have any more offers on Rivian, I do not believe. No, I do not. I'm going to cancel those bids. They're in the 80s again. I'm going to put something here at 20. My stop is, so we'll average into this a little bit. My stop, I'll put on double the shares if we can get to 20. My stop is up here at 31. I just want to see it break the high. If it does it, then great, fantastic. But I don't know. Again, someone in the chat, they're right. You don't need to sell. You don't need to. If you don't need to sell, you don't need to sell. That's it. Why would you sell right now? That's my logic right here heading into Christmas rally. We talked about Santa Claus rally happening 77% of the time. That's the last week into the year. And the average return 77% of the time is 2.7% in 1 week. So, I mean, that makes sense. All right, 20K NASDAQ. Yeah, why not? You're at 17,000 now. I'm not even joking about all that kind of stuff. All right, Alibaba. Look, we're going to give back some Alibaba at 75 bucks. This is a little bit interesting to me because we're topping out here at 75.25 and now starting to head lower. So potentially Alibaba and some of these Chinese names, bouncing right now on VWAP, and I don't know. It's the market is starting to rip up here. And again, I know we're holding shorts and it looks like those are going to get blown out most likely. This could be a nice little long back here at 74.85. Just where are we going to be wrong if we are? 74.50, 74.60. I mean, we can give it down to that wick bottom. I'd rather be right about the shorts than try to catch this name. But Alibaba is looking pretty interesting right now at VWAP. So, oh man, do we want this long? It's 1.3%. The market's here right now. Yeah, I'm going to try a long in Alibaba against 74.60, guys.
Yeah, so Google kind of popping some strength back into VWAP in and around just underneath that 137 area. So yeah, let's see where that goes. NQ kind of popping right back up near its highs, and then ES making highs as well. That 153 bounce on Amazon was quite aggressive there. Did not expect it to go from 152 75s all the way to 153, 154 test right off the bat, but it is what it is. Some strong buying kind of coming in off of those lows. So I think I'm just going to use that information and kind of go forward with that. Let's see if there's any consolidations that happen. 153 was that area from yesterday. Let me just pull it back out and show you guys here on Amazon. Okay, so right here, so look at this consolidation. Absolutely beautiful move here, Sean. I definitely missed out on this trade. I had the long off of the 150.50, kind of a previous week's high. Again, solid kind of a long, and that worked really well. And then VWAP buyers came in and held that 152. But take a look at this 153, a little bit of consolidation range highs there. You come in today, and then you kind of you get bought right back up off of those levels. VWAP coming in right here, 150, just underneath 154s on Amazon. But yeah, that strong push back up, showing some buying kind of coming in. But yeah, take a look at this. These are 15-minute candles, and yeah, pretty much very, very strong, not really violating any of the previous candles there. No consolidations, only higher lows pushing up all the way into 155, and we get that 155 test coming in today on the Amazon. So I think that was pretty decent. That was pretty decent look there, but a little bit of a wick off that 155 seems a little bit troubling. But if this market's going to stay strong and hold some of these levels, again, the 150 breakout is quite a significant level.
Wow.
Again, looking further back. Yeah, look at this consolidation for over a couple of months.
I like that
right?
break.
148, and we're pushing. So I think the probability of continuation is pretty decent, and we've only seen continuation off of that break so far. 150 was the level, I think. 148 being the consolidation high as well. Kind of holding on to these consolidations. Apple still within its opening range. Softy, kind of trying to pull back up. That 370, I guess, was a decent place to buy as we popped pretty decently off of that. SPY doesn't seem like it's had any sign of relief in terms of selling to the downside. Let's take a quick look at the SPY there. Sean, I hear Sean.
Yeah, we just talked about Alibaba, and I'm glad that we convinced ourselves to take this trade. It instantly 21 cents right there. It's not like it's a huge trade, but we'll take it, man. Nice move to the upside. We have it twice. There's two bids there. We were just talking about taking this at VWAP, so when it breaks 75, we'll take it out. And we just got a 75.04, so.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's another good trade right there for Alibaba. We were looking for something long. We took it on VWAP. We're trying to be as specific as we can. But as we sit in this trade, man, I don't have very many good stories to tell you about anything else, because right now Lyft is lifting off. And yeah, not good for me because we're short, but we're only short. It's fine. We're short here at 92s. I mean, it's going to be a 30-cent hit. I didn't think we'd rip up to this 50 period, if you're 200 period. If you're not in it right now, I feel like this would be a good short, but we're already way overexposed to a trade that I thought we liked. We saw the insider selling. Get it. Watch us on tradertv.live. All the news and notes are in there about this stock. But again, a little bit over aggressive for me anyways here by shorting this name. So Uber's been really strong. I just was like, you know what? Uber's not Lyft, and I don't believe in Lyft as much as a company as I do in Uber. So I thought maybe the pullback, from Uber, what Uber was getting hit a little bit. Plus you had the selling spot for the executives here with Lyft, but I guess that's not making any difference. And you could see a little bit of a move down. I'm always, and like I said, man, we're all going to trade a little bit different, but I'm always going to sit here and trade news and trades catalysts. And I thought there was a decent one here on Lyft. Looks like we are getting lifted to the downside on that one. Intel was a nice little reload there. We don't have any outs though, so we need to get something out. That bottom was 85s. Anything like that would be pretty good for Intel. We're short 95. Let's see if we can get a dime out at 85.
Yeah, so kind of VWAP struggle happening on Google. So I did piece off some of my position there into that VWAP push, and I'm like, okay, it can't be looking like we talked about this morning.
Yep.
Sometimes the market's not going to give you what you're looking for right away, so you just have to take what you can get.
Many times.
And if I'm getting VWAP and it's showing me lower highs, sure, we're kind of holding these pre-market lows as well. I do want to take off a little bit there just to kind of keep it safe there, right? So let's see whether or not that strength comes in. But as of right now, again, got to try to understand and recognize the trend here. We've only made lower highs roughly, and VWAP is holding, even though markets are pushing towards their highs. So I do have to respect that. And like I said, I got to be waiting for that information to come in and really
no, I'm okay.
Wait for structure to build to look for trades off of. We talk about that 154 on Amazon. We're getting a little bit of a pullback. I think I got to wait a little bit longer. I want to see a little bit of both sides of the range if we are forming a consolidation in and around this 153 area. Like I said, 152, 153 was pretty decent. If we consolidate and hold above this level, I think we'll be poised for a potential push back through that 155 that I do want to interact with as well.
We do have to go to Adara, but just real quickly here. We did get out of some lift. I mean, lift came back in. It's not going to be a winning. Well, it could be a winning trade at some point, but it's bouncing off 15. We just got some out at 05s there, and at 10. So 10s, 5s, and here 5s again. Here it comes right back in. So we're going to be we're at our highest spot right now, but that's just because this has fallen back in. So let's wait to see what does happen with this. Come on, let's freaking go. And then also Intel, let's go again, man. Like, I'm just so happy to be here as much as we can discuss these trades, man, because right now today we're gonna have one losing stock on board, and it's gonna be AMD, and that's because we shorted it up until oblivion up there, which was horrible. But lift pending, everything else is going pretty good. Let's wait to see what happens here with Rivian as well. That was pretty close to getting us shut down there on the position, so we'll have to wait, and we're gonna go over to the big desk right now, and we're gonna talk to Obi when we get back.
Lots of these biotech small caps on watch today, including Compugen. CGEN is the ticker for this one. We are halted again, but this one is basically has announced the signing of an exclusive licensing agreement for its immunotherapy program. The deal would be valued in total of $848 million, so keep an eye on Compugen, guys. We also have OSA Prosomnus. This is a sleep disorder-focused biotech name, basically announcing data published by a medical science journal showing the treatment of sleep apnea has been successful. This went up about 70% right now. Last but not least, CRNX. This is another biotech name. This one actually reaching multi-year highs on news of successful data studies for its cancer treatment. So keep an eye on all of these names, guys, heading into the rest of the day.
All right, we hear everybody in the background, and this is again another advantage of being here on the floor. I was like, what are all these beautiful guys talking about back there? And then there it is right now, not $10 for SoFi. So we bought this name at 660, then again at 718. Now it's up to $10. Congratulations, anybody here on SoFi. It looks like it's been a damn good one there for anybody long. Intel though, not a good one, man. It just broke higher. So we were getting some out there. It just dipped again. We were getting some out, and then all of a sudden it just got elevated like insane right there. So we will slap a fail on Intel. We're still fine on the stock. It's just that just ripped up, and we got taken out there at a break of 05. So that was always going to be the plan of action right there. So far so good on that one. Lyft is trying to come back in a little bit, so we'll see if that one wants to hit. Again, I'm waiting for a breakthrough. We're short at 15s now. Hopefully we can get a break in, but remember, we've been taking Lyft out for losses. Our average price was $14.92, and we work, unfortunately, I say this, oh, by the way, look at this trade. Remember when we talked about getting Alibaba long? Well, now we're starting to go. So let's take some out there at 7s and 8s. Another piece, I didn't even realize how high that went up until the net started to go. And we talked about that, right? Some people don't like to look at their net. I like to look at it because, you know, I sometimes when you're holding a lot of positions and you're like, hey, what's going on? Helps when you're seeing it sort of blow up a little bit there. And there it is right there. So off VWAP, a nice little move upside there for this. We're just going to wait. That Intel's a little bit pissy to me, but we'll wait on it. And what I mean by that is just like, you see, like we just got stopped out at, we just got stopped out at 05s. I mean, do we want to get back in? Okay, well now we're back in. I was gonna say I hate revenge trading and stuff, which I don't really find like this is. It broke the level, but I am a little bit upset that we got out there at 06. Now that it's back in, it's only back in 8 cents, but still, you know, that 8 cents times, and again, this is what I'm talking about, like, depending on whatever share size you guys are trading, like 10 cents might be nothing, 8 cents, 20 cents, whatever you're looking for, just pan it out, have your plan of action. And I know myself, Obi, Sharif, Adair, Neil, Steph, Patrick, anybody, Yannick, anybody you're gonna see on this show definitely has targets of actionable levels, right? Like, where are you executing? You talk, you're in the money now, a dime, 12 cents, whatever on Google. You have target ins and outs as well. So this is what we're all talking about. So let's just keep on that pace and get back into Intel right now. As there it is, trying to break a little bit higher. I'm going to get out if we take down this 10. You know what? Maybe we can wait till 20 highs. But these names are ripping, man. Like AMD ripping. Yeah. Like this is not the right. AMD's not ripping right now, but up 2%. This probably not the right sector to be shorting right here. The chip names as they're going quite ham. I'm going to get out of this one if it takes out the day's high at 46.20. Much more comfortable taking a 15-cent hit on this if we have to.
Yeah, we're pretty much knocking on the door of that 17th thou. This NQ just had this again this 15-minute candle with about 3 minutes left to print. Pop right into that 17th thou. I think the high is printing the 16,997 there, and yeah, the NQ ES continues to push those highs above that previous 4808, and yeah, a SPY kind of just slowly trekking along as well. The tech name's not really reflected in that run there, so you know what? I'm gonna take a quick look at the map and see what's going on here, see what's actually running. So we'll take a quick look right here. So yeah, anything but tech apparently. So Google holding, we know that. Nvidia, Softy, Amazon kind of weaker AVGO as well. Walmart, Costco. But yeah, Eli Lilly kind of up as well. Oracle, okay, Oracle was a name we were looking at as well. I'm looking at anything that's above more than 1% here. Some Starbucks is there. I'm seeing Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs as well. All right, so let's take a quick look at some of those banks. All right, so we'll go with JPM first because that's a name we've been kind of indulging with as of late. And yeah, banks have been catching a little bit of a bid as well. We talked about that last week. Some strong trends happening on JPM. But yeah, let's take a look at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley to see what's up with them since they are above 1% on the day. Wow, take a look at this, Sean. This is a very strong drive off that 375 on Goldman Sachs, kind of testing the high of day as of right now. Let's see Morgan Stanley as well. Again, both some strong leaders in the banking sectors there, yep. And very similar type of action there as well. JPM not as much, Not as much as these two names. Yeah, sure. What? We kind of pop. We're holding the bid on JPM, but right. We haven't really gone past previous days' highs. But take a look at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. We are. I mean, yeah, okay. So we haven't gone past yesterday's highs, but the action is a lot more held and distinct. Whereas JPM has pulled back off, and visited a good chunk of its range. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley holding in their upper quartile of the range for today. Yeah, Morgan Stanley kind of the leader, breaking past some of previous days' highs as well. So some strong moves on there. I want to watch UNH as well. Again, the leader of the health sector. Well within the opening range, so nothing too crazy there. So the question becomes there: what are the names that are really pulling this market towards its highs? I'm curious to know. If you guys have any idea, let us know in the chat there, and I'll take a look at some of those names. Who's this? Wuko mentioning Coinbase.
Yeah, Coinbase is 162. Wow.
162. If that, wow, holy, what
shit,
am
we forgot
I doing?
about SoFi.
What? It's not even on the list, man. Come on.
Well,
155 was yesterday's price, kind of closing price, end of day consolidation range. And take a look at that. We've just only blasted off through that. Again, Mara and Riot looking very similar to that. So crypto names catching quite a bid there. I'm looking over at Pat. I hope you're long, buddy.
He laughed, so I think that maybe he's not.
That's probably
But yeah, we'll wait to see. Crypto absolutely monstrous. We just got stopped out of lift. Up here, we'll give it to 25 for the rest, but that's enough. Enough is enough. Lift. Oh man, that next lift ride, if I ever take one, is going to be an expensive one. That's for sure. All right, so we're short now. Look at this, just quickly before we go to Adara. There's some size here on the bid, so we're watching out for that. Hopefully that can come back in and we'll take it out. Oh, there it is. So it just got hit. So let's see if now if it falls. We're back into the short on Lyft. We're also short Intel, and we just took some more profit on that name as we got stopped out. Remember, and then we were just trying to get a little more room. Right now, as the market's on one right now, but so is Adara. Hey. Perfect timing on that crypto as we go over to Adara at the big desk.
More updates here from the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF proposal, changing some of the wording now to include a cash redemption model, and also worth noting it now has a ticker IBIT. So keep an eye on all these updates with the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF proposal here. In terms of Bitcoin itself, it's been kind of dancing around here. We were positive just a second ago. Now we are just below that 42,700 area. Earlier today, pre-market, we were trading above that 43,000. So lots of moves right now in Bitcoin. Currently, yeah, we are just kind of below that 42,700. We're about 42,650 right now. Ethereum just below that 2,200 level here, and pretty mixed across the board generally to the upside here. BNB up 6%, Cardano up 3%, and Solana up 5% right now, guys.
All right. I was just looking at SoFi here, trying to figure out what we want to do. I'm going to go short 99s and then get out if it breaks higher. I don't think there's too much of a worry. The trade seems pretty simple there. If we break through 10, then you can just get out of SoFi. We'll see if we can get some short here on this name. But the market is ripping. There goes Rivian. Rivian just took out the high. The market is just at
17,000.
That's what I'm saying. We're just at 17 right now. So things starting to get spicy here. Alibaba is really not doing too much, but the market is starting to go. And there we go. We are now into SoFi. Let's see what happens here.
We made it.
We did it.
17,000. We're here. Oh boy. It's pretty wild. Okay, so like I said, I'm interested to see what the price action will be in and around that 17,000. So I'm watching it closely. I'm churning out this Google trade as it keeps on popping into VWAP and dropping into that 136.4 base. So I'm like, all right, if I'm not going to get that full move that I'm looking for, that 137, 138 push, if it's only going to give me VWAP, so I'll just continue to churn it until it shows me otherwise there on the Google. But yeah, with the market kind of pushing these highs, I think SPY has a little bit more to go before I have it hitting one of my resistance levels here as well. So let's see if there is some confluence with that resistance level coming in on the SPY and the market doing a little bit of a relief turn as well. Amazon still holding underneath that 154. Like I said, I want to see a distinct consolidation above 153 to get involved for the long continuation back into that 155 if we get that. Now we know that we don't get too many V-shaped reversals on the day, but if you look back at the past few months, V-shape recoveries on the intraday have been, I think, a little bit more common than normal, whatever you want to call normal. They've been more frequent to say. So with the markets kind of pushing back towards their highs, I think it goes to show that a lot of the dips are being bought up. Right? Where even if things have aggressive selling kind of come in, when that selling is done, the bid is strong enough that it just takes it right back up as if nothing has happened. So maybe looking for that kind of action here. The setup is kind of looking like that there. I like the fact that we held above that 152 and we're consolidating above that 153. So that's 2 check marks for me, and a little bit of depending on how the consolidation kind of forms. I will be looking to take this back in or into 154, 155, or through 154 into 155. Let's see if that comes into fruition.
Tell me you have SoFi.
I do not have SoFi.
Tell me you have SoFi.
SoFi? What's happening with SoFi?
I mean, it is, again, just the easiest trade in the history of trading again.
Wow.
These are the easiest trades. It's not that they're guaranteed to win or anything like that. It's about easiness of the trade. And I mean, right here for SoFi, it's short. I mean, no matter how many shares, like look, 10,000 shares, let's just say, okay? Right now you're in the money 5 cents. That's $500 in approximately 4 minutes. So I mean, like what's going on here? Like that's crazy. Like what are we, Shohei Ohtani over here? How much is that guy get paid a minute? I think they said $2 a minute, something like that. So we just got paid $150 a minute. Well, we don't. If you have 10,000 shares, you got to have that many shares. But this is the point, right? Is that that's an easy trade. We're already out of 60% of it. That's it. It's an easy trade. You take it for 3 or 4 cents, and you go and you see what happens. I'm sure this is a trade that you guys, were having. I hope yesterday was a great day. We're having a great day here again today as we go. So again, but what's not a good time is we talked about Rivian getting stopped out of that one as that went to the high. We have a couple L's on here, man. I mean, it's not that everything. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day today, and part of that is because of the biggest and the baddest right here, and that is SoFi. Like we just we done good on this trade, needless to say, right? So this is going to be a good trade for us here with SoFi. We'll see if we can get some 92s, but look at this thing collapse right back into the 50 period. And I'm a shareholder. There we go. Yes, sir. I'm a shareholder of SoFi. This is not an indictment against the company. This is just called how you trade. So this is day trading. This is why we're here, baby. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, and part of it is due to this SoFi trade. This trade just went up to well, we got out of a firm, by the way. That we just took $3. Like, look at that out on a firm right there, $49.50. Money. And like, again, I apologize. Like, but if I'm sitting in this desk, you're gonna get some money spins. So right there, right? This is gonna be a good little look right there for us on a firm. So we're out of that. But guess what? SoFi just went to #1 on the Billboard chart right here. #1 on one trade. Okay, that's like, that to me, we talk about this all of the time, that you need to have one good trade in there every once in a while. This to me is a good one. It's printing. There it is. It's SoFi. All the losses on Lyft and all this other crap. Still, you got to be responsible for all your trades. But I'm really glad that everybody behind us and you, Obi, and some of you in the chat were yelling about this level for SoFi, because there it is, man. It's 9 cents. We only have now about 30%. So maybe we'll get some more out, but here comes SoFi. Let's see where it goes. Maybe it breaks a little bit lower, still holding 30% of this one, and it's a good trade, so we're pretty happy with it. Lyft continues to go, man, pennies away from getting stopped out again. Lyft good, or Lyft bad, SoFi good is the story today.
Nice, solid trade on SoFi there, Sean. I think it's only in Canada you're gonna find a place where a trader apologizes for making money there on a trade. Sean saying sorry, but
I just know there's a lot of people that, including myself, that are long SoFi that are cheering that 10 break. I would love to get a 10 break, but we just made more. We could have, potentially, depending on your share size. You could have just made more on that than on whatever position you may be holding as well. So, and that just, what I'm trying to do is just show the difference of trading styles. And again, remember we talked about this.
I'm learning so much from like watching you take those trades. Like that's a trade I might normally not take, and like seeing it live and seeing a more experienced trader. Like we called it out. It was very quick. It was not really on the fly, but you pulled it up. You assessed the tape, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go this way on the tape based off of what I see, and then execute that real time. I think there's definitely a lot of value.
And it's showing different styles too, right? Like that is a quick 10-cent scalp, instantly my #1 stock.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, my #2 stock is a firm where we took multiple dollars on.
Right.
So it's about having that ability to sort of switch the game when the game needs to be switched. And for SoFi right now, it's a good one to the downside. So what else you want to talk about quickly as we just got reloaded on Intel?
Yeah, we can talk about, I guess, still waiting for her, being a little bit more patient for the Amazon. Again, Google is still consolidating within this range, so I'm perfectly fine holding this piece. Again, I just keep churning. I realize it's not going to give me what I want right off the bat, if at all. So I'm just taking what I can get, and if what I can get is VWAP, I'll stay continuing to churn that level over and over again until we prove otherwise. But that 17th thou, take a look at that wick happening. A little bit of a strong sell-off off of that 17th thou, breaking below this consolidation from before as well. Where is the SPY? The SPY is kind of close. All right, so next thing I got to look at is some of these constituents here. Apple still hasn't really gone past its highs, so I think with the NQs kind of pulling back off of that 17th thou that aggressively, we might be poised for a little bit of a pullback here on these markets here. So you know what? I'm gonna wait and see if this 136.4s, 136 and change gets bought up once again. Like I said, if you look at the 15-minute candle on Google, there are some strong wicks every time. You can even see it on the 3-minute here. Look at the strong buying that comes in every time we visit this these 40s, right? Slow bleed into it, strong wipe up. strong flush into it. You violate it by like 10 pennies. The strength of the selling is quite strong, but when the bid steps back in, wipes back into VWAP there once again. So I think that's a decent look there. A potential flat bottom break setting up. Shout out to Sharif there on this Google, as we've only made lower highs, and the bottom is kind of holding support at that 136.40s, 136.30s level right now as we're testing that area. But with the NQ kind of coming in real hot,
Look at this,
I do probably want to step out of the way of this one and let it kind of let it cook the price action here. If the NQs are going to kind of continue this uptrend, this overall uptrend here, and that initial push back down off of that 17,000 is just some selling off of a new level reaction, then that could be something as well. But like I said, going to be watching these 15 minutes charts to wait for that consolidation and that structure to build.
Bro, we got all the smoke. We got a lot of smoke on SoFi, all the way down to 87 right there for that one. So we want it, we got it. We're feeling like Dylan Brooks over here. Let's go over to the screen with Adara.
A lot of sectors pretty gray or mixed right now, including commercial services, utilities, health services here as well. Retail trade, a little bit of movement to the upside. We also have Costco moving to the downside here. Consumer non-durables as well, trying to get a bit of a move to the upside. Nike, pretty strong today. Keep an eye on that name. In terms of some other sectors, finance as well, pretty strong. We have some strength coming in health technology as well. Pfizer up about 2.5%. Eli Lilly up about 0.5%. And then in terms of electronic technology, NVIDIA to the downside right now, but some of these other chip names, AMD definitely one to look at here, as well as Qualcomm actually. And then a little bit more mixed in terms of technology services. Meta to the upside, the other mega cap names in this sector a bit more mixed, and Netflix also moving to the upside, guys.
Nice.
Bless you. All righty then. It's already 10:42 now. It's been a pretty good day, man. Affirm, AMD, Alibaba, Intel, Lyft, NVIDIA, I'll talk about that in a second, Rivian and SoFi, wowee. Lots of stuff popping off today. And again, like I just hope that everybody is happy and been here with us and had a great holiday so far, and able to enjoy some of these trades that we're putting on and some of the explanations that we're giving as well. It's not just about the trades. It's about understanding how I'm making them and how OB's making them and what we're looking at. And that's why we put out the watch list every day. That's why we got the sticky note. That's why this guy's got sticky notes as well now. And yeah, we're really excited for what's to come. Pretty soon we're going to be having in the new year, we'll have options on the platform. We're going to be having a much more aggressive crypto offering as well for everybody. So that should be much more exciting for us. And I mean, crypto, futures, options be damned. We coming in here every single day and putting these on for you. So follow me at Trader TV, Sean, man. I'm very overwhelmed with all the response on that as well. Thank you so much for continuing to support all of us. And again, good pod coming up with my guy over here, Sharif, this week. So that should be a lot of fun as well. We're just putting out content for everybody. And that's what it's about. We don't charge anything, free everything, this and that, whatever you guys want, we're here for it. So, keep supporting and make sure you do this at least.
Like and subscribe today.
Yeah, no, I think there's something to be said about that, Sean. Now, again, I say this a few times before, but I started watching the show when I was still trading at home a few years ago, and I kind of discovered your channel, the Trader TV education, the education channel. Now, I think those videos I'm pretty sure they're still there. The playlist from the past, again, covering a lot of topics and a lot of value there as well. And again, now we're doing these podcasts. So if you have the time, the value is definitely available, and it's up to you to kind of harness that for yourself. And I think I did mention before that it took forever to kind of come by a lot of those concepts that you have on the educational channel now, just like a lot of them being like how to read the level 2, or like how to set it up, or like what certain things mean, and how to kind of form a perspective on certain there's
so many things like
types of
scalping
trading,
and so many different things that you can't do.
So it's like it's all accumulated in one place.
Yep.
So I think that's there's definitely value in that.
We'll talk about that when we get back from Madeira.
Yeah, just keep an eye on NEO here, up over 6% right now. NIO achieving the ET7 model achieving nearly 650-mile range with its new 150 kilowatt per hour battery. This is from Electrek reporting this. NEO really strong on the day, guys.
NEO.
I actually just same way as you, man. I just noticed that stock same as Adara there, starting to rip up. So we are now out of a quarter, or no, more of that than our SoFi. So we only have a quarter left is what I was trying to get at. So we'll wait to see what happens here with SoFi, trying to make some moves. So we'll see if that is a good one or not. So we're looking at that one for SoFi. Again, out of a piece. All right, Intel, this has been, you know, as far as disappointing is concerned, I feel like this one's pretty disappointing. Not really moving, but again, off the last, we did get stopped out there. We did reload it back. We did put it back in. It'll be a top, not a top stock, but it'll be a stock for us as we wait to see what happens here with Intel and hopefully it making a move back down a little bit. I just tagged at Alpha Trends because this is a fantastic trade right here. Look at this off VWAP for Alibaba. I mean, it's now at 36s and starting to rip even higher right now. So again, a really good trade here that I thought we liked earlier. Remember what we were talking about? We were looking for opportunities here to get long. We found this name at VWAP. So yeah, man, we did take advantage of it and did go here on this name. So Alibaba, nicely done right there, back up to the upside. I just feel like it's lift that's kind of disappointing. We'll wait to see about a drop. If not, we're out at the high of the day right there. If that can help, that's great. SoFi, Alibaba, and we're just trying to wrap things up here to go. Earlier or tonight, we do have Nike earnings coming.
Ooh,
that's not, I don't think that's today though. Is it? It might be tomorrow morning. I'm gonna let me throw back over to you, and I'm gonna double check who reports tonight and who doesn't.
Yeah, I think that that Nike earnings definitely going to be interesting. Kind of leading the way back into earnings season, right?
FedEx is tonight.
Okay, FedEx, right? FedEx was the other name that again interesting. FedEx and Nike. I think we had FCell this morning. I didn't really check it out too much, so we can take a quick look at FCell as well. See how that thing is doing. Nothing too crazy there, yeah. So we talked about it kind of yesterday. It did a pretty crazy move there yesterday in the pre-market and pretty much faded all day. We talk about it kind of being a repeat offender, and you're getting that continuation of that fade happening today. That 150 was a decent shelf, and we've only traded below that coming in today. So I guess the earnings not really having too significant of an effect on that name there. So yeah, I'm taking a look at some of these other names that we had on our list. Coinbase still kind of still holding. I was gonna say Mara. Uber actually pushing up towards its highs there.
Oh,
Sean.
really?
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a quick look at Uber. I know I had Uber at 61 on the watch list, but that 64 never came in, even through that the S&P 500 ad, and that 63, 64 area. Sorry, that 63 half is the high from last week, and we're kind of pushing up into it. 61 halves held. Like, take a look at this consolidation. This was the day before the ad here, or going into the ad, and you can see how strong of a day we had, both to the upside and then a flush going into the close. But regardless of that, we've held this level quite well. You can see that it's been a support level in the past. A little bit of a wash here, but it reclaims and holds, and it's coming in today. I think a lot of people, including myself, were looking for the backside here on Uber, kind of knowing that it's been kind of hyped, pushing up a bid all the way into that S&P 500 ad date. You can see we've come quite a long way from these lows on Uber. Earnings high being around $50. So Uber pushing up about almost 11 points off of that and holding consolidations, stair-stepping above. So that 160, that 61 half for the hold for the push into these highs, maybe a decent look there on Uber, and it's definitely showing us that strength today. Affirm continuing to go. Oh boy.
How much
Did
now?
we
No.
miss this trade? 50-50.
50. Okay. Well, we got out $1 ago.
Yeah.
Wow, Affirm. Whew.
Wild.
At least we called it, man. I mean, honestly, Obi, that's what you and I talk about here all the time. Is like you can have the trades. I can't predict a 16% move, but we did predict 11 or 12, whatever it was, and we got out right there on a firm. You could see where we're out, but still a good out as a firm taking out the day's high again. So, all right, it's Money Talks. Let's go see what Adair's up to.
USD a little bit to the downside here is the DXY on the daily. We do have lots of economic data to keep an eye on going into the rest of the week, specifically the PCE and the GDP coming up on Thursday and Friday. We also did have some Fed speak earlier today with Fed Barkin speaking a little bit about inflation, how it is a bit stubborn. They just want to wait for some conviction regarding the inflation. We also have news with the Bank of Japan and the yen, basically the yen falling after the Bank of Japan has decided to stick with its negative interest rates and sticking with its looser monetary policy for the time being. As you can see here, this is the daily Japanese yen to USD, seeing a big movement to the downside here after this decision, guys.
Right.
Hey, USD.
Day trading stocks. Wow. I was just looking at this Affirm and posting it up right now. But there's one thing that we have to talk about right now, and it's because it's getting close. I mean, it's not quite lunchtime yet there, Obi, but today's not a bad one. Okay. You want to say chicken or not? What do you think?
Let's say not.
You're saying not?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
You right, my guy. Right now, today, what is for lunch? Here, that's a little bit. Let's do this again. We got to get ready here. All right, what is for lunch today, good people? Here's today's menu. It is a AAA. AAA, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sirloin, better than AA. Sirloin beef burgers, not bad, with Cajun fired peppers.
Ooh.
Cajun fired peppers, that's nice. Aged cheddar and herbed wedges.
Okay. Nice.
Feel pretty good
That
about
sounds
that
pretty
one.
solid.
Feel pretty good about that one. Hopefully the boys in the back and everybody will be able to get some of those, as that sounded pretty good. All right, so SoFi did come back in right now, and everyone enjoys their lunch. We'll be having a salad. Maybe I'll bring it on the midday show. You guys can see what that looks like. 93, 94 coming up on SoFi. So it fell back in. We got some more out there. I mean, honestly, it's holding out higher. Would love for this name to fall in for us, but right now we only have 20% left of that. What's up, Chef Joe, man? Yeah, lunch is on you all day, baby. I'll take that, man, all day. But right here, nice move up for Alibaba. Again, good job. And thank you so much for the love. I think it was Trader Forever. He said I absolutely nailed Roku. I mean, we talked about getting long here and giving it, that $2 down to 92, and hopefully you'd have a little bit more. So that's $2 up instead of down. Nice move there on Roku on the upgrade. And again, we talked about that, possibly going long there off of some of those bottoms. But again, we could sit here and talk about trading, but it's not thanks to me, man. You guys are the ones having to put it on. So I want to say thank you to you guys for continuously watching this. And all you can really do for us would be this. Oops.
Hola.
This.
Like and subscribe today.
Yeah, so like, subscribe, do all of that, and yeah, have some fun. Obi, I'm short now. Lyft, how low did that go? Lyft right now bouncing off 12s. Let's do that as well. And the thing about Lyft is, I know it has nothing to do with Tesla, but Tesla is an absolute monster today. Short this at your peril, as Tesla right now ripping. It was the #1 trade idea. We called Tesla, when Tesla was at 215, we called 280. We're getting closer and closer to that right now. But Tesla was the #1 idea on here, but it didn't dip down far enough, Obi. We are looking at resistance or support at 250. The lowest we got there was right off the open, basically. 253. We did test back. So 253 was probably the best anyone could have if you're day trading right there. Let's go. We took out some more Lyft here, or for Lyft out for the first time. Let's see where it goes. Alibaba, only 20% left.
Yeah, I'm looking at NVIDIA as well. Yesterday, again, we talked about that 500, how nice that was. A little bit of a pullback, so maybe potentially a failure to follow through of that 500 happening as in the pre-market. You kind of flush yesterday's prices. This consolidation was pretty decent. That built up into that 500 break. The 500 break super, super clean. And then you come right back in the pre-market and flush into previous consolidation lows there. 490s, 496 seems to be, 489s, 496 seems to be the range that NVIDIA keeps on doing here. But once we've tested that 17th thou, Sean, we keep on clipping it over and over again. We're back at that 17th thou on the NQs. ES continuing to push, and like I said, SPY's got a little bit more room before it comes into that resistance level at just underneath that 475. So let's see whether or not. Again, I'm going to be looking for that confluence.
Man, you have resistance, confluence, Google. This guy, man.
I don't know.
Wow.
Just,
Je m'appelle Obi.
yeah, je m'appelle Obi.
Over here. Yeah, but okay, so we'll look for some confluence and whatever else you're talking about.
I feel like we're talking about like stock selection and stuff. Obviously, I'm not in the best name right now. I had one strong idea, and none of the other ideas really came in. So I'm sticking with the one that I have written down, which is the Google 137, right? 370 softy as well, I guess. But that 370, did that come in? Did that come in any clean? Let me check my charts here real quick. Yeah, actually it did. So a missed trade was the 370 on softy. So I have a 370 as a base from yesterday, and I have 375 as some resistance. So I'm like, all right, 370. Look for a reason to get long above 370 and take a look at what this does today. 369.82 is the low. Wick low, and then both candle closes and opens on this quadrunk with the strong volume candle as well, happens right above that 370. So that's going to be a missed trade for me. I also have X down at 50, but I don't think it even printed that price. Apple 197, is it even there yet? It was there in the pre-market. It still hasn't touched it just yet. So I'm going to be patiently waiting. We are building up. We've held VWAP as well. The market is looking like it's in for a potential turn. That 17th thou all-time highs is coming in over and over again as we keep on recycling that number there. 48.08 was the previous high on the ES, and we're pushing past that as well. So strong bid on these futures. I'm going to take a quick look at oil as well. I'm curious to know what oil is up to.
I was just looking at oil.
Yeah, XOM. What's the ticker? What's your go-to ticker?
Oxy.
Oxy?
Oxy's
Okay.
up real nice. We talked about that level from Warren Buffett the other day.
Boy, XOM as well. We've been watching this 102, 100 level as well on Oxy, and it goes for a little bit of a dip below that shelf that we've been seeing over the past. I think it's been a couple months here. If I want to pull it up, okay, yeah. So right here, you can see that 102, how well it's held since November. Yeah, right here, this 102 holding quite well there, and then you do get a decent break of it, but now you're getting the reclaim of that level back through that 100, so a decent look there on XOM, kind of trending up. But Sean likes to look at Oxy, so let's take a quick look at Oxy as well. Now another leader in the oil sector as well, Occidental Petroleum. Again, this is Buffett's sweetheart, apparently, right? Yep. So yeah, that 55, lower 50 area bid apparently being supported by Buffett here on Oxy as he keeps on buying it up whenever we come down into that level. And we came down into that level a few days ago, and look at the price action. We've only been bid up off of that back into these 60, the 60 mark here on Occidental. So still room to go if we're going to continue to kind of respect this range that we've been doing over the past all of 2020 and all of 2023, now pushing into 2024. This is a very strong trend, a multi-year trend, multi-year consolidation to call it there, off that 55, 56 area here on Occidental. So yeah, we're catching a little bit of a bid today. I'll take a quick look at crude oil futures as well. I'm going to be 15 minutes delayed on this name here, but I just want to get a general idea of what we're up to on this name as well. So yeah, crude oil futures kind of holding a nice trend off of these 70s as well. So
I like that XOM bottom. I like the Oxy bottom. And I mean, again, Obi, thank you so much for covering again here today. Me and Obi will be back at 2 o'clock. And then Neil has tomorrow off, so he'll be back with me tomorrow as well. But, you know, now it's 11. Yeah. So we did it.
We made it.
Good job. All right, we'll have some nice AAA sirloin beef burgers, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the rest. Intel's coming back down a little bit here. So is SoFi. Just come over to my screen quickly. Those of you that are trading off Intel, we do have VWAP up there at 95. So we just got some outs there at 96, 97. As here goes the market back up to the upside. All right, Alibaba's rocking. Things are looking pretty good over here. Let's go over to the big guys at the midday show. Actually, that's his line for us, but the big kahunas, right? Okay. I need to have let's just call them the dynamic duo for now. We'll go with you. You like that name? I think because Adair goes same bat time and all that. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go over to the dynamic duo of Adair and Sharif. It's the midday. See you later.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to Learn How to Trade.